What's going on, internet folks? Waylon, I see you in the chat. Can't make this one, got stuff going on. Well, it is Friday, so we're here, a little afternoon, noon 30, East Coast time, of course. So good morning to all of you still in the other time zones in the United States. Got my coffee here still. Afternoon coffee. And I doubt anyone's watching in the UK, but it's probably 5 o'clock over there, and I hope you have a drink of some kinds. So, you know. But, yep, I've got my coffee here. It is not spiked. It is black, like my mug. What's up, Blue? We need to make you a new intro for this awful stream. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a new thing, right? We're kind of testing the waters out, but I agree. I'm like, this is like episode 5. I think we're doing so. Yeah, dude. Blue. Blue, you're my boy. Yes. If you would be, I would be honored if you would make me an intro for this awful afternoon live stream. Beans. How you doing, girly? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by last night while we were murdering some bugs in Helldivers. A video game, YouTube. Don't get your algorithm all screwed up. Yeesh. But yeah, happy Friday, everyone. It's been a week, man. It has been a week. And I was up late last night after we were done streaming Helldivers, which I had a lot of fun with. And it's always a good co-op game to just chill. And, you know, it doesn't take itself too seriously. You don't have to try hard. It was just a lot of fun. And I was up watching some videos last night for today and kind of figure out what the heck am I going to talk about. There was an idea that I had about Tolkien, but I didn't really compile the information that I wanted to, and like, not that I would read a live script on stream so much, but I didn't have all my notes in order, so I didn't want to do anything half-assed, essentially. But I do have a couple ideas and things I do want to talk about in regards to Heroes, and we'll check out a couple trailers. Maybe even a little anime trailer I came across. I was like, ooh. And I haven't watched a good anime since Frieren. I'm a little bit behind on Jujutsu Kaisen, which, you know, I know some people adore it, but yeah, it's just a bit of it's a mid-tier type of anime to me. It's not bad, you know, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me personally. So if you think Jujutsu Kaisen is like an 8 or 9 or even a 10, kudos for you. By all means, enjoy the ever-living hell out of it. But so Jackson said he liked the new movie Hokum. I don't think I've ever heard of it. But is that a Gen Z or whatever we're up to now take? I'm just kidding. No, Jackson's got some good takes. So, yo, what's up, Draconis? Happy Friday. Same to you, brother. And yes, those bugs were kind of annoying, to say the least. You've been up for 25 hours, bro. Oh my god, dude. Well, hope you get some coffee, Blue, and spiked or not, but okay for a Friday. I'm glad I tuned in last night. However, it's fun to watch. I right? It is a fun game to watch because it is so random, and like, I think the cool thing about Helldivers is that you have variability. So like, you know, you can increase the difficulty, which just gets more insane, it's more chaotic, and hilarious. We didn't see a lot of ragdoll effects, like when you usually kill an enemy, sometimes they just explode, they'll fly across the map. Didn't see anything too crazy like that, but when it does happen, it's actually kind of hilarious. But yeah, it's a fun game, and we usually play on harder difficulty because, you know, we're pro gamers over here. So, but yeah, it's been a week, you know, and I think I actually usually Fridays for me are pretty low key. But I actually just took off of work the whole day today. And even though I was up late, I slept in a little bit. just to really kind of just get in a better rhythm. Because I don't really ever get to sleep in except for like maybe one day on like Saturday. And you know, sometimes you just got to treat yourself to a nice little relaxation. Naps are also great. I don't know if people take naps, but man, naps are fantastic. Um, and I don't know if that's something that people do when they're older, but I mean, power nap as I call them, that's a great thing. It's a new horror film starring Adam Scott. Go watch the trailer. You know what? Let's watch it right now. We will watch this new Hocus Pocus Mocus Focus thing Hokum. I figured we'll start off the stream, talk about some trailers, and kind of go from there. Honestly, we'll get into the nitty gritty of a video I had bookmarked like Tuesday, and watched it and took notes from Shoe on Head, because when I saw what her recent video title was about, I was like, oh, we kind of talked about this last Friday about Pragmata, and having getting into the game, and I don't know if I need to stream that game or not. I may, but yeah, like I thought to myself, well, considering the first real stream, the first thing I really kind of started to put out in this channel was based on Masculinity. I was like, maybe I have to do a reaction to her video, but like, I'm not gonna just sit here and pause it along the way, sort of thing. Like, not this time at least, but I did take notes as I watched it, so I do have things to say in regards to her video, which I pretty much agree with. There's nothing I really disagree with. It's just more so things that were pointed out that I find interesting, that I have my own sort of perspective with, coming from a male who is a protector, of course. So, yeah, we're definitely going to jump into that, though, for certain. All right, Hokum trailer, official trailer 2026. Adam Scott came out the trailer was a month ago. So, yeah, let me throw this trailer to my other monitor here, and we'll go from there. What's up, Darth Stud? How you doing? Can't do naps. I feel worse afterwards for some reason. I will say, yes, you are right. Because if you sleep for too long, like your body just wants to go into like deep sleep REM, which that's why you almost have to I have to set a timer, like a 20-30 minute nap of actually me sleeping. So like what I'll do is, if I've got some time, I'll go, you know what? Like, let me set an alarm for about 25 minutes, because I go to sleep fairly quick, maybe like 5-8 minutes sometimes, within the normal range, of course. But for me, I'll end up falling asleep, and like 20 minutes later, alarm goes off, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And then, kind of jump right to it, maybe grab a cup of coffee at that point. But yeah, if you sleep for if you take like an hour long nap, like, yeah, dude, I definitely agree. I'm just like, oh my God, like, I think I need to go back to sleep for another 2 hours, and it's like, but it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, oh, okay, maybe not. Sometimes the best films we're seeing the last 3 years have never become marketing side. Well, I just found out about some movie with what was his face, Anthony Mackie, and I was like, the hell film is this? It was like $200 million in budget and bombed. I'm like, well, of course. Now, is that Anthony Mackie fatigue? Because he was wonderful in Captain America 4 Brave New Day, which is the movie we all loved and we all wanted to see and we couldn't wait for, after the tons of reshoots and rewrites and the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. It lost money. Gotta love Hollywood. Gotta love Hollywood, y'all. or not, because what's the point, honestly, nowadays? So, that being said, here's Hokum. We'll probably have to pause it along the way because, you know, YouTube's going to YouTube. And with everything going on in YouTube lately, don't want to say or do too much. Otherwise, it's bye, bye, bye. Oh, dude, holy crap. It's going to be May 1st. Justin Timberlake. Don't drink and drive and get a DUI like Justin Timberlake. All right, here we go. Hokum trailer 2026. Okay, so I think right off the bat, we're getting that creepy music, which is always good. And I think it's just a caveat for getting the, you know, getting the people engaged. Let's get it all creepy and intense, like, yeah. Now, rule of thumb. If you hear something and you're not sure what it is, and it's dark, and you need a light of some kind, whether it's a flashlight, you're going to the flashlight could shine it through, but if you have to stick your limb through something to see something that you are curious about in all the wrong ways, do not do this because you're going to lose that limb. Now, that might be, you know, just too much on the nose, but yeah, don't do this. Okay, that's actually kind of creepy though. Now, I wonder if he also loses his limb at that point, like little whatever that creature was is going to just rip his arm off. I would imagine that. So, yo, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Happy Friday. Big film, keeping good movies down so all people consume is garbage. Yeah, and I think that's the other interesting point too. Like whenever we get a good film too, it's like, oh, look at that! Like it's a breath of fresh air, which doesn't happen often, as we know. It is very much a hit or miss thing these days. Means also when you have young children, they either don't let you nap or or you need to run interference for the napping wife. That is 100% true. And honestly, I'm gonna bookmark this on StreamYard here when we talk about Pragmata, because that is an excellent point. Thank you for sharing that, Darth.
First time in Ireland.
Motel, Holiday Inn.
Came here for their honeymoon. Always wanted to come back.
Why didn't they?
Oh, is that? Weren't we just talking about her too? Oh God, we were just talking about her. I think Tuesday night. After the Peaky Blinders stream. Can't think of her name, but she was like a designated survivor. Oh God, now I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh gosh, hold on. Her name is Natasha. Is that Natasha McElhenney? I'm looking here. Oh my God, why is you looking it up real quick? Hold on. Maybe it's not. It looked like her. Okay, I guess it's not. My bad. False alarm. False alarm.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there are some oddballs walking around this place.
There are worse things than strangers out there yet.
One of the members of staff is missing.
You know, if you're ever in a situation where you're like, this doesn't look too good, then just leave. Is it that imperative that you stay? Like, I don't know. Jax, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? Happy Friday. Well, I swear that the best thing I've seen this year, and besides Drinker, no one is talking about. Really?
What about the honeymoon suite?
It's always locked.
So like, okay, so from the creator of Oddity and Caveat, I've not seen either of those films. So I feel like this is one of those situations where if you watch Hokum as like an introduction to this director, which I don't know who it is yet because we're kind of pausing, this is fresh live reaction, and you like it, and now that you're kind of enticed to go, oh, Hokum was really good, now I'm gonna go back and watch some of his other works. That's what you want to see, especially when you're introduced to movies that maybe are kind of swept under the rug, that aren't popular, kind of like Blue, you're saying, like right here, like no one's talking about it, except for, you know, educated people like the Mr. Drinker. But yeah, like I do think that this is it's a bit of an example, like a film called Weapons and Zach Krieger. We may talk about that in Resident Evil later. I don't know. I'm like, maybe we'll bring it up. Maybe not. We'll see.
I'm getting a weird feeling.
No, I was choking my coffee. Ironic, I mentioned Weapons and Barbarian from Zach Krieger, and it says from the producer of those films. Okay, we'll keep going. Now, I like Adam Scott. I think he's great. I think he's a really solid actor. And dare I say, I could be wrong about this, but maybe he's a bit underrated. Like maybe he doesn't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying? Also, I do think we may cover a movie on Masculine Mondays that has him in it, but I will not say when or what that is, but that I have an idea. Welcome to the honeymoon suite where memories are made. With some sort of leftover remains of what may or may not be some sort of ritualistic disaster on a table.
Something feels off.
Okay, so far we're not even done with this trailer yet, but so far I'm intrigued by it. Like I definitely think that it's hitting those solid horror vibes. Waylon's not here to say horror is overrated. Now I'll say for me, horror is definitely hit or miss. More miss than hit, especially nowadays. I don't think we get good horror films anymore. I think the last good horror film we got was Long Legs.
Can't find a way out. I keep hearing something.
Oh hell no!
I think there's someone down here. Can you hear me?
Get me out of here, Dan!
Ooh, okay. This could be good. All right. Hey, you guys want to watch the Mandalorian Grogu trailer? Just kidding. Just kidding. I want to do that to you guys. No, that's actually Blue. Thanks for pointing that out. Number one, because I've never heard of that. But yeah, that looks legit. I might have to see that. When does it come out? Oh, does it come out today? It says check-in 5/1. Hold on. Oh, damn. Okay, so that movie just came out today. Oh, wow. Dope. Okay. The director is Damian McCarthy. There's a runtime of 1 hour, 41 minutes. So, you know, maybe just over an hour and a half. Factor out credits. And that's the thing. I feel like, let's see. So it's a supernatural horror film written and directed by Damien McCarthy. Film stars Adam Scott, Peter Coonan, David Wilmot, Florence Ordish, Michael Patrick, Will O'Connell, Brendan Conroy, and Austin Emilio. Yeah, let's see, Peter Coonan. What else has he been in? I think I recognize. Okay, yeah, Austin Emilio. I thought I recognized him. He was in The Walking Dead for a bit. That's where I recognize him from. But that's cool. So it takes place in in rural Ireland. So I think it's going to have a nice. I like the aesthetic about it, really. And I think that matters in a horror film. I think that's why I liked and think that Longlegs was or has been the best horror film we've gotten in recent years. And again, I think like there's different things about horror films to me, that if it's a supernatural horror, that's where I think, you kind of get into things in that genre of, yeah, this could be true. There's some weird things of that nature could potentially happen, right? Like, it's like when you talk about like Pennywise or like like cool story, but like it's creepy, but not scary. Supernatural horror though, that's a little bit of a different story because weird things have happened. Zach C, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Happy Friday. Hey, man. How about them Anaheim Ducks knocking out Connor McDavid and the Oilers? You think he's going to leave? And he's going to stay in Edmonton another year. Okay, you're going to see it after you log off. Okay, so let me know what the full story is. Maybe I'll see it this weekend. I need to go to the movies again. It's been a while. I still need to go see Michael. I've not seen it yet. Jax, please no for Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay, I'll spare everyone. But I think it's again pretty interesting how I mentioned. I can't think of his name. I mentioned who was it? Zach Krieger and Weapons. So I think Weapons was the last. I think it was the last sort of horror movie I've seen. I guess thriller movie. I guess if you want to call that last year, we're calling that a yeah. So that's also a supernatural mystery horror film. Listen, spoiler out there for anyone who hasn't seen Weapons. So I saw it in theaters with one of my best friends and his ex, and it was a full theater, right? It was I think Friday or Saturday night, and movie kicks off. I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty interesting, let's see if Julia Garner can act outside of Ozark, because I think everything she's kind of been in after that's kind of been like pretty bland and meh. Josh Brolin, really solid actor. Might not really like him in his takes outside like, as a person, but if you can kind of separate those two, then you can appreciate it. But when I was watching Weapons, there were things that I definitely don't like about it. I think some of the characters are absolutely pointless and can be completely removed from the story and aren't even that necessary. And I think it's almost just like a time filler. And I think in some cases it even takes away from it being this type of supernatural mystery horror aspect. And there's a part of the crazy grandma, whatever her name was, from Amy Madigan, her character, Aunt Gladys, sorry. She again, I think she did a great job because I think she won an award or whatever, and her acting was fine and good. But it was everything else in the movie that was just like, I'm not buying into this. I don't know. And when she takes over, Benedict Wong, his character, Marcus Miller, who's a school principal, right? In his own home, and she starts doing the voodoo magic or whatever it is, and then he turns into like this zombie slave creature or whatever it is. And again, like I'm like, I don't know if it was really supernatural based, because I'm like, that would just be some weird like voodoo black magic that she could, like, that's what I thought it was. But I I laughed so hard at the part, again, spoilers if you haven't seen Weapons. If you don't care, we're just going to proceed anyway. But he's running down the street, and I think they're chasing him in a car. And he gets hit as he's crossing through an intersection from another car. And it was like a Jackass moment for me, like as if I was watching Jackass the movie. And like I laughed so hard at that moment, like belly laugh, like ha 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 ha. And other people in the theater started to laugh as well. My buddy was trying so hard not to laugh. And I like, he was just like, he's like, dude, I can't with you. And I'm like, bro, this was hilarious. And other people were laughing too, because it's like, you know, when you hear someone laugh, it's like a chain reaction. That's what I started in the middle of a theater, and I felt bad, but I'm like, man. And someone said something to me afterwards, or said like, you know, like, oh my God, the part where the guy laughed in the theater, and I was like, yo, that was me. I was like, was that not hilarious? I'm like looking at them, I'm like, was that not hilarious? Like I thought it was, but like when you laughed, like I couldn't stop laughing, sort of thing. And I'm like, right, because it's just one of those moments where like, I'm like, this is supposed to be like a serious like horror movie, and you have some hilarious shit happening like this. Like, yo, what's up, Ronan? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. And he's got them bulging eyes, dude. He does. Dude, he looks all crazy. I don't know if I can find that clip per se on online or on YouTube, but like I think there's like, they showed it in the trailer too, ironically. In the trailer, it kind of switches scenes right before he gets hit, so it's like it doesn't actually count, I guess. But yeah, those are some of the silliest scenes, but maybe they're going after the absurdity, right? Like, I guess it's a matter of, you know, in horror, do they go the route of absurdity, or do they try to offer some humor so it kind of maybe takes away from it being too tense? Which I don't know. Like I feel like in some cases, if the idea is to really capture that thriller sense, which I think that's from the trailer watching Hokum, I feel like the entire time we just might be in this like tense, maybe engaged mood where we're wondering if Adam Scott is going to make it out alive or not. So, and that's why I think some trailers these days are done absolutely poorly, and then some trailers are done very, very well. You know, and I think that Hokum trailer was good. So, you know, I'm intrigued to try it out, and go see it. Now, a movie I am not entirely sure about in the horror realm is and granted, I haven't seen Barbarians either, which I still want to see, because everyone was like, oh, that's Zach Krieger's best work because it was like his first movie, and I'm like, well, that's interesting, because usually I feel like first movies from directors, not that they're usually bad or anything, but that they would usually improve over time, right? So that's why I thought, oh, could be a good thing, right? Should be a good thing. But you know, talking about Krieger and this whole Resident Evil fiasco that I've seen online from people. If you see it and have free time, let me know. I missed doing my low bar streams, did them with Vex and Nadia and Gore, very fun, but everyone is always busy now. True enough, Blue. Everyone is definitely busy, but I will definitely let you know. And if I do go to see it, I will more than likely try to do maybe a video on it, or at least talk about it maybe the following week on Friday. Like I'll give like my live full review perhaps. Yeah, what's up, Mad Dog? How you doing, brother? What's up, dude? I did the front yard. It took me an hour talking to the neighbors and had a garbage truck wait for a minute so I can collect the rest. Put them in the backyard. Doing it later. So gotta love that that yard work on a Friday, huh? Make sure you have a cold one. I don't like horror personally, especially body horror. So even if Clayface is something great, I don't like it. Yeah, I am concerned about Clayface. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know how well Clayface is going to do. It might be absolutely terrible. Which again, I wouldn't be surprised because I don't think James Gunn knows what the hell he's doing and is on his way out. So, but yeah, like this Resident Evil film should not be called Resident Evil. I don't think this needs to be in the same realm of Resident Evil. I think it would have, and you know, it's one thing if like you're a fan of something, right? It's like saying if someone's a big fan of Halo and they wanted to do a Halo movie or show that wasn't an abomination like we got with Master Cheeks, then don't call it Halo, right? You could have it take place on a different planet, but in the universe that, you know, may or may not have an alien race called the Covenant that's there, right? Like, I mean, just call it something else. Like, and I think that's one of the problems is that people are trying, Hollywood especially, like trying to associate new movies and shows as new ideas, but they're not really new ideas because you are trying to place something that you think is new and something that's already existing, right? Like, that's not your original content. Like that's kind of like my problem with the Hunt for Gollum. You know, like that is irrelevant. That was taken from one chapter in the Fellowship of the Ring and already exemplified in the amount of context we needed in the first movie. We don't need a whole movie about it. We don't need it. So yeah, like it's just like redundant and like while I do think for just on the matter of Tolkien, while I do think the War of the Rohirrim movie is also, or animated movie is also not good, that actually is taken from context of the appendices from Tolkien. So like the idea is original from Tolkien, the creator, but when you're adding on false crap to it, then yeah, you're just diminishing the creator's works. Before we, Bootzilla, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. The trailer looks fine. Don't get me wrong, but it's not Resident Evil. Exactly, Ronan. Exactly. The Halo show was atrocious. I bought Paramount just for it and stopped after a couple episodes. Yeah, dude, Mad Dog, as an enormous Halo fan, you know, the very first game I bought when I got my Xbox was Halo Combat Evolved, and you know, beat that game. That might be the single most campaign completions I think I've ever played out of any game in the history of video games. For me, I've probably beaten that game 100 times. I'm not even joking. Between single player and co-op, right? Like I was doing speed runs in that game. And so yeah, needless to say, very disappointed about everything in that movie, or sorry, everything in that show. I didn't even bother with season 2. I'm like, why? I'm just gonna get pissed. Drinker is stalking me. What? He put up a Resident Evil trailer video. Oh my god. It's kind of like when he put out the Unforgiven, his Unforgiven video, right when I was talking about it on Masculine Mondays. I mean, great minds think alike. I don't know. This was before the shared universe, which went family that has Paramount. It's so crazy. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with Paramount after Sheridan leaves. So, and here's the real kicker: the idiots online arguing that we only want Resident Evil characters, forgetting that we also grew up with Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2, which have regular side characters as the focus. Exactly. We don't always need the main characters, right? And that's, again, that's fine. But I think that's what Krieger is trying to do here. Maybe he's trying to do something like that, but I don't, but the thing is, he's not acknowledging this perspective either. All he's saying is that, well, it takes place in Raccoon City after I think the events of Resident Evil 2 or something. So it's just there. That's the setting. And I'm like, do you really need to say that though? You could just say for example, Bootsel, I know. The funny thing too was maybe it's just we're on this, there's a wavelength of sorts. And the funny thing is, so Mo Zamboni was going to be on a guest on Masculine Mondays for that. And then he messaged me and he's like, dude, I just found out that Jay Jung3PO is also doing Seven Samurai. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. I was like, Lamau, OMG, no way. That's crazy. So he's like, look, he's like, as much as I love the movie, I don't know if I could talk about it back to back. And I'm like, that's understandable. I mean, that's a lot of hours of talking about one movie. Not that EFAP doesn't do that, but so I was like, well, ironically, I had stuff come up that day, which is why I pushed it back to this Monday. But yeah, the timing of sorts is weird. And so then I asked him, I was like, well, what about this Monday to cover this movie? And he's like, we're not covering that. So I'm like, okay, because and I'm sure this coming Monday, a lot of people are going to talk about Star Wars, which I know would make sense. It's May 4th. It's Monday. And originally we were going to talk about Star Wars this month, but after talking with Goodwin about it, I'm like, maybe it makes more sense to cover Star Wars next year for the sake of the 50th anniversary for A New Hope. I think that'll probably be bigger, and obviously the channel will hopefully have grown more in the next year as well. So I think that'll probably be the better focus. And I think that might be a bigger, might have a bigger panel at that point too. More people coming in and out, because I think it'll definitely be, a big moment. Because a lot of people still like, the original Star Wars movies, not so much anything new, because everything new is just garbage under Kathleen Kennedy. But anyway, let's watch this trailer real quick, and then we'll move on. So here's what I want to say. Here's the setting. Imagine this is a film that was just Blue recommended Hokum me. I've never heard about Hokum. Don't know what it was about. He just said, new horror film. Check it out. Imagine if this was the same thing. Someone's like, hey, check out this new horror film from Zach Krieger. Oh, he's done Barbarian. He's done Weapons. What's this one called? I don't know. Winter Darkness. I don't know, right? Something along those lines where it's a different title, right? Just think about it this way. Let's go into this trailer with that approach, right? Let's put the fact that this is supposed to be Resident Evil on the side. We're gonna bench it. We're gonna tell it to take a knee. Okay, let's go forward without the idea this is Resident Evil.
Hello? I had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Right? Like opening setting, you're wondering, okay, someone is walking in at night through the snow, trogging along. Something's not right. And then you knock on a door. No one's answering. Okay. Definitely kind of fit in the bit of a horror vibe there to start off with. There's suspense, thriller.
Hello?
From the mind of Zach Krieger. We'll continue it in a second. I'm too young for Halo. I played on my cousin's stuff, driving the buggy, but I have no idea about the story. I liked Halo 3 story, though. I played it, but don't remember. Oh, yeah. I'll talk about Halo all day.
We're sorry.
Would I be in the wrong to say I thought Weapons was a comedy? I'm sorry.
Hey babe, look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but
Right, like up to this point, we're 46 seconds into this trailer. I would have no idea this is supposed to be Resident Evil.
some things have happened. I'm in like a seriously fucked up situation right now.
Like even up to this point, you're like, maybe those little creepy sounds. Is that the audio design, or is that actually like a creature of some kind chasing? Right? There's no indication about what it is. So I think in some cases, like you're still, it's still ambiguous at this point. Even if this is like how the movie starts.
And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other.
And so we've got Baron Harkonnen at the end of the sewer here. My Dune. My Arrakis. I kid. But like even to this point, you're like, what the hell is that? My mind would probably go to like, is that Pennywise, the dancing clown? Like I would think of something like that. Like, okay, it's some weird creature that is overweight, but who knows what the hell it is at this point. It's pale as hell. Nick, I love you, but there isn't any film in the history of Hollywood I would discuss with you for 10 hours. I don't have autism. Not even Lord of the Rings, Blue? Come on.
Other again.
So this is creepy, right? I don't know how someone's legs are way up here and that's their arms, I guess, perhaps, but like it's creepy. I'll give Krieger that. Still nothing to do with Resident Evil though, right? No, obviously when it cuts to this, it's like, oh yeah, this might be zombies or some sort of undead type of creature of the night. But
I just wanted you to know.
Like, exactly, it goes like Baron Harkonnen. Yep, exactly. Didn't realize that Chris Christie got into acting. Yeah, right. This is his breakout role.
I love you.
exploding zombies things slash bodies slash puppets. I don't know. I think that's it, right? No more actual trailer for IMAX. Yeah, like it's an okay trailer. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing that like I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta go see this like right off the bat. But I've never played it when I was a kid, but I tried to play through with my husband. We didn't get far. Skill issue on my end. Still fun though. Did you play on easy though, Beans? I mean, I'd say the easy is not that hard, but I understand it's like the controllers maybe. You could do 2 hours per game. I understand. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I feel like for for Krieger, I would have said let that be an entirely different movie. I don't think I don't think this is necessary. It was uneasy. If you want pointers, I can give you pointers about what to play or what weapons to use. Did you know so Beans in Halo 1, the elites, the taller like blue and yellow and red aliens, they go what? They have a sword, right? The plasma rifle that they have by default, if you shoot it, it stuns them, it slows them down. So you could shoot them and strafe around them and then melee them and hit them in the back and kill them once. Also, UNSC pistol, OP. At best, it would be an okay film, but it's going to be a shite Resident Evil film. Yeah, that's what I believe as well. Like, I definitely think that you know, as dubbing it a Resident Evil movie is not going to bode well for fans because everyone, and I said this, I made a comment in a in one of our you know, chat threads backstage, that I'm not even the biggest Resident Evil fan. Like I've played 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Code Veronica, but I haven't played 6. I bought 7 recently because everyone was like 7 is the most is the closest game to the old ones to buy. So I'm like, okay, I'll get that, and it was like $4 on sale from on Steam. So it's like, sure, why not? And didn't play 9 and didn't play the new one because I'm like, why? What's the point? So I'm not a huge, enormous Resident Evil fan. Like I saw Leon's playing Resident Evil 4 on his Nintendo Switch while on an airplane. But and I've seen the older Resident Evil movies with what's your face, Jovovich, which, you know, I've got questions about. But anyway, so my whole take is this is going to be a decent suspense thriller, maybe horror-esque film, but I don't think in the realm of calling it horror, or sorry, calling it Resident Evil, I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to being a good Resident Evil movie. And it's not because we don't have Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy in it. I'm not saying it's not going to be good because of those things. Like, just call it something else. Like, he could have used everything in the same story. Change the name of what city it's supposed to be from. Change whatever, what it might be for a virus, and then just change the name of the damn movie. Not that hard. That being said, though, I do want to go back and watch Barbarian from Krieger. So I will probably go back and watch that at some point. We need to play Halo 5 and 6. Halo Infinite, it was probably one of the most boring ones for me. I mean, I guess because it's okay. I like the fact that it's a kind of like open world, but story wise, because it's building upon bad lore to begin with from Halo 4 and 5 is just not good, right? Like I did not like Resident Evil 5. I didn't like Halo 5's story at all. Everything that they did with Resident Evil 5 and 6. Oh. Yes, dude, Resident Evil 5. Oh my god, man. Me and my buddy XR, who we were playing Helldivers with last night. When that game came out, we beat that game multiple times in like the other missions that you unlock, outside of the story. We got like S rank. We try to get like high leaderboard on that. So that's a fun game. Resident Evil 5 is definitely fun. I didn't know Resident Evil 6 is co-op. But everyone says that Resident Evil 6 is bad though, right? Or is it just a fun co-op game? I'd like to see it, honestly. I liked Weapons, but like my movies this year, I'm actually going to the theater for Spider-Man Odyssey. I'll probably pirate Supergirl. Yeah, I don't know if Supergirl's a movie I'd be willing to pay money for, if I'm being honest. And I don't blame people either. I'm going to see Spider-Man though in theaters. Dude, I'm going to go see Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters next week. 100%, dude. I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat. I'm looking forward to Street Fighter. Like, there's definitely going to be some movies I am 100% going to see in theater. Supergirl is probably not one of them though. Or if I do, I might go for like a cheap matinee, Yo, what's up, Seabrew? How you doing, brother? Getting ready for work? Heck yeah. So far, Apocalypse is the closest thing we're ever gonna get to a Resident Evil 3 movie. Yeah. Which Nemesis was done not so great, so. Oh, I know, yeah, catching up on chat sometimes. Like you're talking like you're live. Now, I think with like chatting and being live, right? Like, I think it's important to go back and read it, even if like it's not the like maybe up to date or like up to speed, if you will. But or perhaps I can just take a swig of coffee and allow it to catch up and have some dead air. I don't know. I love caffeine. I bought Resident Evil 5 and 6 on PSN for $5. Well worth it. RE6 is a bad game. Okay. Controls are fantastic. Interesting. So good game, or sorry, bad game, but good controls. That's weird. So one of the things that again I was looking at, and I've not, again, another trailer I've not watched yet was House of the Dragon. Now I know a lot of people are put off by season 2, which I totally understand. That was like the very first stream that I was ever on with other people, so I get it, and kind of thinking like, oh no, this is gonna be good. Don't worry, guys, it'll be fine. Everything's fine here. Not quite, but you know, here we are. So, yeah, like the fact that we have a new trailer is kind of interesting. I know we kind of talked about this before. A lot of people have been talking about it. How like it is going to be uh, a big deal because of what's happening now. Having read Fire and Blood and being hyped for a certain moment to happen, and I thought it was gonna happen for season end of season 2. Like I'm sure season 3 will probably have more people watching, bigger audience, but yeah, like I don't know if it's going to land for a lot of people. Let's watch this in 4K. We'll watch this in some crispy blue for $1.99. RE6's Michael Bay meets Resident Evil. Okay. Well, that's why it sounds bad, or is bad, right? Kojo, greetings. Hope you're well in NC. And Lieutenant, what's going on, dude? How are you? I got a call now. I'm 5 minutes behind. Oh, shit. Mad Dog, just two exit. Just hear me talk really fast, and you'll be okay. I know that kind of sucks too, though. It happens to me, and I'm like, all right, I gotta like catch up. I mean, I'll watch people in like 1.5x sometimes. I know Blue does this sometimes too, and it's hilarious to see people talk. Like I remember I was watching Cinevere's stream one time, and I was catching up, and I was behind, and so then I was like 1.5x watching it, or watching on 2x speed, and because she already has like a higher voice, watching it on faster speed is hilarious. But Blue, since he's he wanted to donate. So I've heard about the Pragmata controversy, Nick. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the main topic we're gonna talk about. We're getting into it. We're gonna get into it. Hence the title of the stream. They had a question on Open Bar about who should take over Open Bar. I cite Michael Bay. May not be the best, but damn, I'd like to see it. There would just be a lot of explosions at that point, right? But yeah, let's talk about this House of the Dragon trailer. See if you guys are interested, and what may be a solid season, at least a good comeback from the previous season that was not so good. Got offered 40-minute ride for $40, so it's like a dollar a minute. Is that a good ratio? Yes, don't text and drive unless you're at a red light. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Let's just check this thing. I've not watched this trailer yet, so let's see how it goes. I I disagree right off the bat. Damon is saying that she has a power no man has ever wielded. Aegon Targaryen, perhaps? I don't think she had that power. So I'm pressing X. Well, I mean, at the time, it's nice to think about it that way. But again, like, you're forgetting your history. Like, you didn't conquer anything. Aegon's conquest was monumental for a reason, and you've done nothing of the sorts. Yeah, that battle, certain battle, starts with the G. That's going to be the big point that a lot of people that'll probably be the most watched episode for sure. So technically, it's $60 an hour. I'm doing a passenger centered. True. Interesting. I hope we get Matt Smith here in his season 1 performance, not like the cooked season 2 performance. Yeah, a lot of people thought that. Oh wait, am I not even sharing my screen? I'm not even sharing my screen. Wow. Dear God. I thought I was sharing my screen here. Shit. So yeah, this whole battle is going to be interesting here. Yeah, Alicent and Rhaenyra, their sisterhood feud is going to be interesting. I was saying, I hope we don't get a cooked Matt Smith here. People thought that Aegon was dead. Nope, he's just immensely fucked up, if you couldn't tell here. And yeah, he wants to kill his brother for doing this. So yeah, we're all caught up now.
Draw your sword.
You know, Kada, our friend Khalil Too Short, Short King, Foot King, has a shirt with him on it. I can't remember this dude's name off the top of my head. And loves this dude so much, and I'm like, well, that's cute.
Look to the sky. Doom and ruin surround us. We will all become beasts before our end.
It is no longer.
We see some Stark shield there. Let's go back just a second. Yeah.
It is no longer safe here.
Well, Vagar's unleashing that flame. Flame on.
There will be no doubt who the gods have chosen to rule.
All right. Well, I will definitely be talking about this on Tuesdays, for Trendy TV Tuesday. Moving forward, on June 20. Let's see here. That starts June 21st, which is ironically Father's Day. Shout out to all the dads and dads in the future. So Tuesday, June 23rd, we'll be talking about House of the Dragon, and then we'll just kind of move forward through it. So, I mean, like, because I know what's happening in the book, and I'm sure some things are going to be changed, and we'll see. Hopefully, there's no propaganda in it. But if they stick closer to the source material, then I think we'll actually have a pretty damn good show, or a good season at least. I'm behind what you're talking about, House of the Dragon right now. This is my religion. I can name more kings in that universe than I can in a real one. Obviously exaggerated, but I love it. Invite me on, old man. You're calling old. I am young in my youth still. But yeah, definitely gonna talk about it. So, should be good. Should be interesting though. Like I said, I hope they don't screw it up. I hope they don't screw it up. There was an anime I also recently saw for the first time. I bookmarked it. I've never heard of it before, but I know it's a lot of people trying to think what it was. Hang on, I have it bookmarked. Oh, ironically, we're talking about Halo. Talking about Halo, right? And people might not have seen me post this, but Halo says, the diversity of the Halo community is our strength. And this month, we're taking a moment to recognize and celebrate the Asian and Pacific Islander community as part of API History Month. Jumped into Halo Infinite this month to unlock the coding and visor. Now, I'd say, pattern looks cool. The armor itself, the shape of the armor, this has been in the game for a long time. I just noticed this comment. I miss the days of red versus blue on coagulation. Oh God, dude. Red versus blue was great. And while coagulation was the name of Blood Gulch is the OG original name. Interesting. Only some accounts can reply. You celebrate Black Month, Pride, Latino, Asian. Where's your white people's month or men month? Most of your players are white men, you woke purple-haired idiots from modern Halo studio. Please stop at this pandering when your studio has had multiple counts of racism, sexism, and harassment. You're putting on a persona. My Asian wife with a fish head and no cannons will use this. Making good games used to be Halo's strength 15 years ago. Amen. This game's nearly 6 years old. I think the people you're marketing this to more than likely already know about it. It would be better to show off a cool skin for your new game coming out in the next year. The skin is cool, but unfortunately, Halo Infinite has been put on life support for a while now. I hope the next Halo game is not going to have the same shortcomings this game had. I'm not going to hold my breath though for that. If you let me borrow a new Xbox for 3 hours, I can bring the world to its knees. Well, Why is there never any South or Asian or Arab representation? It's always East Asian and Africans. Because they're racist. What is that coding? It's awful looking. Actually, unity is our strength. That is true. Johnson Halo. You forget about white people. That is your biggest strength and your former fans. Get this shit out of here. Yeah, tagging Asha, CEO of Xbox. Yeah, I would like to see her come and be like, yeah, we're gonna stop doing this shit. I'd love to see her do that. That would be amazing if she just came in here. You guys have strength. Dead franchise. What? Yeah. Ironically, I'm just reading these comments for the first time, but yeah, even I posted going, when's Caucasian Month being celebrated? I'm just asking a simple question. Just asking a simple question. Because I would like to know. But I will probably never play that game again, if I'm being honest. And this new reformatted version of what's it called? Combat Evolved. God, I don't know. I feel like I almost have to play it being a Halo fan, but I don't like what they're doing to it. I don't like what they're doing to it. Let's see here. If I don't see a decent Darian, I would be pissed. Supposedly he's played by a trans actor. I don't know if that's true, but he and Damon are my favorite during this time. I hate to see them ruined. If he is being played by a tranny, I will finally make my channel. I've been pushing it off, but they will make the dog finally go mad. I mean, dude, like, it's possible, right? Like, I think it's definitely possible for that to happen. I hope not, though. Because it'd also be really stupid. Oh, God. Anyway. There were two topics I wanted to kind of cover. One was in the vein of games that have cool cinematics, which I don't play Diablo 4 anymore. I did for a while, especially when it first came out, like the first like 2 expansions or whatever. But I will say that the Blizzard cinematic team with Diablo, like those cinematics have always been like top tier. And I mean, the old World of Warcraft trailers used to be pretty top tier as well. But you know, number one, World of Warcraft is not what it used to be. And then I'd say on top of that, Diablo 4 has definitely had a lot of like solid cinematics. I mean, even going back to like Diablo 3, really. What was your go-to class in D4? I was a what do you call it? A rogue. First season when it came out, I forget what, like crossbow, or I was like that oh god, what do they call it? That was like a dagger rogue where you like drop like this dark shadow pool or whatever, and you like with like poison traps. And then I think they nerfed that a bit, and then I was playing this arc sorcerer build that was pretty OP. And then I was playing this spear necromancer build And then the last time I played Diablo 4 was when they finally fixed the minion build for Diablo 4, for the Necromancer. So I have not touched the game since then. So, but that doesn't mean to say that I don't like to kind of stay in touch with the game or watch cool cinematics. But yeah, and actually, I mean, I was playing as a barbarian as well a little bit. I forget what build I was, and like those are like, so there were two things I'd always thought about doing, like for streaming purposes, Draconis, which is like, I was trying to convince Cindy to do it, but I think she got too scared. But I'm like, but that's the point though, is playing hardcore modes is like, there's some suspense about it, because at any point in time you could die, especially like when there are mechanics in the game that can one-shot you, and it's like, yes, it's wasted time, but I'm like, but you're doing it for content though too, right? So I was trying to convince Cindy to play hardcore WoW, because hardcore World of Warcraft is not meant to be a hardcore game either, like played in the sense like if you die, you die, and that's it, your character's gone. But it is fun. But I've also, I also played Diablo 4 in hardcore though, because I feel like at that point, like I'm more engaged. Like I have to stay focused in the game to play it. I'm like, I can't not look away for a moment, because if I see something coming off screen, like I feel like it forces me to play at a higher level, as opposed to be like, you know, all right, well, yep. All right. Oh shit, I died. All right, start at the end. Start beginning of the dungeon again. Okay. All right, got past that part. Okay. Yep. All right. All right, cleared. Next key. All right. Next boss again. Like going into a dungeon that's higher up and going, all right, these modifiers are real crappy. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Right. Like there's something that adds to the suspense of the game, because you don't know what's going to happen, because it's can be completely random sometimes, right? So Mad Dog, you said I don't like tabletop style games personally. I just tried to you tried to bang Shadow and bought on BG3. No, I understand like that's not your game type, like your style, right? Like I think doing D&D in person is a lot of fun. It really is, especially if you have a good group. It's something I thought about doing online. Like I have played D&D online before. And I don't know if it's one of those things where I'm like, let's start a D&D group, but the problem is too, is like finding people that are committed enough to play online even, right? Like doing it in person is like playing D&D in person, that is, has a level of commitment because you're gathering in person. Whereas online, it's just like, I got shit to do, I can't do it, right? I mean, like, I guess you could say you can't do something in person too, but maybe the campaign just goes on without you and you play catch up. But I understand like turn-based games can be hit or miss with some people. That's totally fine. Excuse me, that's totally fine. Caught up? Hell yeah. The affix crafting back then was boo-boo. Yeah, it was. Dude, I know that was one of the worst parts about it. You would just dump your resources into trying to get like the right affix and never get anything out of it. So, but yeah, let's check out this Blizzard trailer cinematic, and then we'll talk about the good stuff with Pragmata, and then I'm going to get some food. Now, this is some real horror, Krieger.
touch the stone, meet the same fate.
No! I need more time!
Bro. That's like terrifying. That's some real horror shit right there, dude. Also, the cinematics in this game are like this is top tier cinematic right here. I don't care what anyone says. This is top tier shit right here, y'all. Like, these graphics are so bloody good, and holy crap. That whole how many seconds, that last minute and 9 seconds was better than the entirety, I think, what this Resident Evil movie is going to be. I don't care if it's live action versus cinematic animation.
I just need more time.
It's so
time. Nothing in those scrolls will save you, Neyrel. But I can.
I want nothing from you.
You've seen what awaits. You are a part of me. But I can make better use of you.
I have seen what awaits. I will stop you!
I am untouchable.
You think you have power here?
Oh shit.
I could do this for an eternity, Neyrel. I don't see that you have a choice, but I'd like you to say yes.
You're right. I am a part of you. I was trapped in your mind. You dream. And when you do, an ocean of twisted horrors floods your mind. I saw the sun blotted from the sky. And the darker it got, the brighter the rage of man burned.
It looks so
Hatred would
real.
reign. I was lost. But in that chaos, I found your greatest fear. And I will tell everyone.
Oh, child. What could I possibly fear?
And the weak were made strong. The pack of lambs would feast on their shepherd.
The prophecy.
Hair strands are like
Oh,
so
be
well
careful,
done.
little one.
Then comes a spear of light, piercing
The lighting
hatred's
reflection in
heart,
her eyes.
raised to the ground by a murdered son.
Stop.
And a daughter.
Stop! I command you! You could have been so much more.
Damn, he killed her like that? Oh shit.
Oh, what have you done? What have you done? Let them come.
Let them rise up, feeding the flames of unrest. It will not matter. For I am
the light and the way.
Well then. And Blizzard knows how to freaking do a cinematic. I'll tell you that, dude. At least the Diablo 4 team is specifically speaking. Yo, what's up, Isaac? Is that Rose Tico? Well, it was because she dead. She's dead as a doornail. Yeah, I think I remember her character from one of the parts of the stories from like the first expansion. When she takes the stone that God, what's his face is after. I couldn't think of his name. What am I blanking on his name? Wow, I'm gonna have to look it up. It's so terrible. 'Cause remember in the original D4 campaign, he's hidden because Lilith is the main focus. She's the main baddie until you kill her. Which I think just came out. So, guess it's been getting good ratings though. Mad Dog, this is Diablo 4. Cinematic for the new expansion called Lord of Hatred, but $1.99 my taxes due. Appreciate the tax dollars. I can play a clip for you.
Yeah. Stick around.
Stick around, Mad Dog. We've got more to talk about. Yeah, that game has some really good bosses though. And I mean, in cinematics, it's something I've debated on going back into, but I'm just like, do I? Not sure. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Mephisto, that's his name. Yeah. In the trailer, that was Mephisto in the beginning. He's like locked away in the beginning of the original campaign, and then I guess in but what your character does in the expansions, it's ultimately his release. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get back into those games, if I'm being honest. I would do it for like stream purposes. Like, hey, let's play on hardcore mode. Show me the horse girl from Peaky Blinders. What? The horse girl? What horse girl? What's your name? I missed your question. Oh, sorry. Random, but have you learned of Warhammer lore? I'd like that shit. I'm curious if your favorite Primarch. Yes. I do know quite a bit about Warhammer lore. Like, are you referring to original Warhammer, or are you referring to like 40K? Like, what's your favorite chapter? Like, I played tabletop for a while. Necrons. I have two armies. I have Grey Knights and Necrons. Those are my two armies. So yeah, I guess the main topic that I want to get to for today, and then we'll call it. But essentially, again, like why Pragmata exposed why masculinity still matters. 40K don't ever play tabletop. Tabletop's fun though. For Warhammer 40K, if you can find at least one other person, but you're a Lionel Johnson Sanguinus fan. Yeah, I like Lionel Johnson. All right, dude. Yeah, I mean, well, dude, me, XR, and Magnus, we used to play D4 from the start. So, I don't know if they would want to play again. Like I said, it'd be cool if like we played on hardcore mode just for like kicks, because I think it would be kind of funny too in case we died. But I don't know. Like, I'll think about it. So anyway, so main topic discussion, and then we'll get some food. But main topic of discussion, again, the fact that Pragmata has been a big topic lately, and there was a video that I watched from Shoe on Head recently. I saw that she posted a video, and I usually I'll watch her stuff from time to time, not all the time, but kind of really depends on the topic, really. But it is funny that she posted a video about the male protector fantasy. Is it incel to want to be a father? That was the topic of her video that came out 3 days ago. And so I watched it. And I took some notes on it, basically to kind of, share my thoughts on it. And I'm not going to go through her video and like pause it or anything like that. And at least not this time. But in terms of like where my notes are and like what really matters, and kind of what I have to say in terms of everything that is important for both masculinity and Pragmata, right? So just in kind of some of the things that she like, and I would say listen to her video, because obviously she makes a lot of good points in it, and I do agree with what she says. Her video isn't just about like Pragmata. It is about the modern internet discourse and how it's become so broken that a guy, a man that is feeling protective, has these paternal instincts, or is emotionally moved from a video game because of the characters that are involved in said video game, we get framed, we get labeled as sus, or creepy, fascist, incel, pedos or whatever, right? Like, and so one thing that she does in her video is that, and I think her strongest point of the video is that how Pragmata exposes, how deeply anti-family, anti-male, and anti-human a lot of people online have become, and I think that's the problem, is that people online are really stupid. There's really no other way to say it, and to be nice about it. But they're inherently wrong about topics like this. And she talks about the male biological clock, and because there are people out there on the internet that think that men have a biological clock, which maybe number one, go study some human anatomy. You can study for free online. Even I'm sure there's credible resources out there. You know, not saying you have to go back to college or anything like that, but maybe you should have paid attention a little bit, because you know, certain people like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, they're old as hell, and they just fathered children. Okay, so men can still become dads super late. Now, obviously, you could say, well, to be with someone younger by like, I don't know, 50 years, it's kind of weird. Not going to deny that, but men can definitely father children. There's no real time limit. It's like you might have strong swimmers for decades at that point. But I think what has become a larger discussion is about fatherhood. It's about masculinity. It's this cultural resentment that has happened online here, and this online hostility towards anything that presents men as protectors, and all that is just wrong, and that's not how it should be. And so I think this, you know, the Pragmata controversy is fascinating because this game, which isn't really the first of its kind, but it appears to tap into something that's simple and deeply human. And I think we do need more games like this. You have a male protagonist, Hugh, who is protecting a childlike android, Diana, as we know, in a dangerous sci-fi environment. So you have character one, character two, and character one has to take care of character two because the environment is dangerous. It's like saying, where have we seen that before? You've seen that before in The Last of Us, the first game, right? Which, I mean, say what you want about the show, but, you know, but the first game was a hit. God of War, another one. Other movies and books, right? BioShock is another one. Logan, arguably, you know, one of the best comic book films ever. And I think it's one of best Hugh Jackman's movies as well, where he takes care of Laura, which is technically his daughter, Laura Kinney. True Grit is another one. The Road is another one. We're going to be covering all three of those films at some point on Monday nights on Masculine Mondays. And say what you will about The Mandalorian, but it is still true to that design, right? Mando comes across the child, Grogu, as we, you know, find out his name at a certain point. But it's that same formula. Character one takes care of character two in a dangerous sci-fi environment. And honestly, just even this alone on paper is one of the oldest and most emotionally effective story structures that we have. You know, you have to have an adult protector that is taking care of a vulnerable child, you know, and it works because it speaks to something, honestly, just it's very primal, you know, the instinct to protect someone, to guide the vulnerable, and become responsible for someone beyond yourself. And that's something that we talk about on Masculine Monday, is like when people have to look farther within themselves to realize that I have a primal instinct that if someone is in danger, I'm willing to risk my life for them. I'm not a coward. I'm going to protect the innocent because they can't take care of themselves, or they need guidance, or else they're going to become lost and they might, you know, venture into harm's way. And I think that's what happens a lot in society, in the world, right? Like these people that don't want to have a child. And I understand, like, if there's a lot of people, I have friends that have said, like, I just don't want to have kids. I have nothing against kids. I just don't want kids. Now I've kind of pushed back. I consider my friends, and again, I don't mean any offense to anyone that feels similar to this, but you know, I have other friends that have always said to me before, you know, I even thought about having kids myself. And having a child, having a kid is one of the, whether it's a, a son or a daughter, because there are only two genders, is one of the best things that a father can, or a mother can realize. But especially, a father being the protector role, that is one of the best purposes that can fulfill your life. And a lot of people that we have on stream that we know inside a community of sorts are fathers, and they love their kids, and they share these same sentiments, right? But I think that there's people out there, especially people that Shoeonhead mentions in her video, and I'm like, there's a pattern here. These people do not want to have anything to do with responsibility, because they don't want to be responsible for someone other than themselves. And then when I see how these people, behave online, it's like, you can't even take responsibility for your actions online. Your words are dog shit. And I think that's where like the controversy becomes revealing here. And yes, Leon the Professional is another good one. But I think this is where the video in the point in her video becomes bigger than just the gaming discourse. Instead of seeing men respond to Diana with this paternal instinct, this emotional investment, or a desire to protect, a lot of people online immediately interpreted that reaction in like the worst possible way, right? We've seen plenty of people in their tweets, posts that are just stupid, and they always kind of frame it like, oh, guys giving praise to this game, they must be creepy. And then again, there's a lot of this incel word usage and calling it incel behavior, which I think the word at this point has lost its meaning. And some people even call the game, I don't know why or how it's even relative to that. And I've barely even played the damn game, but saying it's relative to fascism or Nazi coded because it centers on a man protecting a blonde girl. Okay, so what if her hair was brown or black? It doesn't matter. And I think that Shoeonhead highlights how absurd these points are and how deranged the reactions have become, especially when people actually get an emotional response from men. The fact that men are having this response online and it's not sexual, it's not hateful, it's protective. It's again this paternal, family oriented and somewhat even primal instinct that people are realizing. And I'll even say personally, I've always wanted to have kids, and I've held other friends' kids, going to their, when they're having their kids and saying, hey, come over, meet the baby. And so I'd hold the baby and I'm like, oh, it's adorable. But never had this sort of feeling of, I need to have that. I want to have a kid until it hit me, until I held my niece for the first time. And does it make sense because it's family? Maybe. But there was something that I felt as if it was an awakening where there is a greater purpose within me. And some people could say this is just part of maturity. This is something that happens to people. It might be something that you feel is worthwhile. You feel that there's a higher calling, a higher responsibility, the room to take accountability into yourself. And again, this is where I think in Shoeonhead's video highlights something that hits much bigger than this gaming discourse beyond Pragmata. A man wanting to protect a child is not suspicious. It's not toxic. It's far from being fascist whatsoever. And it's not some weird power fantasy, unless you live on Reddit, because Reddit is a weird ass place. And I don't recommend anyone ever going to it. But I think it is one of the most basic and necessary expressions of healthy masculinity. And again, as I mentioned, we're going to be covering movies like probably Leon the Professional, Logan, True Grit, The Road, because those movies matter. And again, because the whole mantra of Masculine Mondays is talking about why masculinity in cinema is important. There's a video where I talk about as an introduction. It's only 6 minutes long, but definitely recommend people checking it out because we talk about the affirmation and inspiration and affirmation, right? To want more, and be inspired by other fathers, to be inspired by other people, to be protective, and to have and want to achieve and be something better than you are. And so I do think there's this strength that people are finding now within themselves. And maybe people have played The Last of Us and it never really hit. Maybe people are playing Pragmata for the first time as well and going, wow, I never realized this before. Is it the game itself, or is it just the repetitive nature that they finally caught on to a pattern? I'm not entirely too sure. But as I mentioned this multiple times, even in the video, that masculinity, it has nothing to do with domination. It's not about cruelty. It's not about control. It's not toxic. Masculinity is strength placed in the service of something that is vulnerable. And it is the ability to stand between danger and innocence. Think about how many people have gone off to wars and fight in places other than our own country for people they'll never meet. How many people, how many soldiers, how many men, not women, how many men have died in world wars to protect men, women, and children, the elderly? You going to start calling all the old soldiers incels? No, of course not, because that would be insulting. And these are people that are young men, people who are 18, early 20s, who died overseas, died on the shores of Normandy and elsewhere to protect kids, to protect women, right? Women that are calling men incels and fascists. Like, you guys are horrendous, and you're a joke to human society. And I think masculinity, again, as we talk about multiple times, it is about restraint. It is about having courage. It's about sacrifice, and it is about protection, and it is about having responsibility, like being a father, having a family, having a brotherhood. There's responsibility in those things. And this new trend, this new dad simulator genre, which I think is just stupid, but sure, call it what it is, I guess. But I think that's why these stories work so well. They show the masculinity that is being redirected away from selfishness, and it's being shifted towards duty. Hugh Williams in the game, and as we've seen in other games that, just mentioned in movies, a man is not just fighting because he likes violence, right? I just want to murder people or just go on a killing spree. That's not what masculinity is about. A man or a protector is fighting because someone weaker than him needs to be strong. And that's the difference between masculine virtue and brute force. Now, sure, some of those things, those two things can be merged together. They can be brought together. They can be joined, but there's a difference. And I think a lot of people online fail to realize that. And especially the people that are calling, Pragmata this incel-based game. And all these naysayers are inherently wrong because all they're doing is just projecting corruption onto something that is fundamentally good. The creators of this game realized that there is a greater theme here, and they went with it. They weren't afraid of doing it. They were like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to write this game. We're going to create this idea here because it's a good story. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. Gamers, we want to have a good story. We want to have good characters. We want to have fun in gameplay. If it looks good, yeah, that's a bonus, but I don't think it really needs to be a necessity nowadays because who can afford PC parts if you're not already kind of bought into the PC realm? But I think when someone sees a man that's wanting to protect a child and immediately assumes something predatory, that actually says more about that person's worldview than it does about the man. When they're going to start projecting online, like we see way too often on X, and I don't even want to know what blue sky looks like, but I've also seen it on Facebook. You'll see it on Instagram as well. But there again, their worldviews are so shattered and broken that it's not a surprise. It's nothing new to us, but also just shows how far gone these people are. And that's something Shoe on Head, she makes in her point repeatedly throughout her video. And I think the disturbing part is not that men saw or see Diana in the game and think, I want to protect her. The disturbing part is that so many people saw that protective instinct and immediately tried to sexualize it or politicize it and demonize it. And it's just like, these people are sick. These people need a mental health check. And I'm not just talking take a day off from the internet. No. I'm talking remove yourself completely from the internet and maybe seek some sort of psychological help. That's the type of sickness I'm talking about. Being and having this protective instinct is not a problem. The loss of respect for the protector instinct is the problem. These people out there, especially out of probably white women, as I'm seeing a lot of people of that nature say these things, they have no respect for men, especially white men, especially straight white men who may also be Christians, which is just absurd. And the really funny thing is that civilization, our society, depends on men who are willing to protect people who are not themselves. If you're a random bystander and you see a child that is in need of help because she is about to get hit by something, and maybe their parent is busy or doesn't see, their back is turned and there's an oncoming car and you dive in front of it to scoop her up or him up, to get her out of harm's way, right? People will probably somehow try to politicize that or sexualize it or demonize that person, right? Someone's about to get mugged on a trainway, on a subway, and a guy comes along and tries to save a teenager or a child or a woman at that point. We've seen it before. Fathers are obviously going to protect their children. Husbands are going to protect their families. Uncles are going to protect their nieces and nephews if their fathers or mothers aren't available to do so. Uncle Ben tried to guide Peter Parker, died in the process. Soldiers protect civilians, as I mentioned. What about law enforcement, police, firefighters, teachers, coaches, older brothers, mentors? People that you meet, people we meet online here can give great advice to help you, younger people, get back on track, to be some sort of provide some sort of protective nature. And I think if the only acceptable reason a man can care about a child is because the child is biologically his, then we've completely lost the plot. Right? Like it should be ingrained that if it's your child, yes, you protect them. But let me ask you a question. Would you not protect a child if it was your friend's child that was in need? Or would you protect them because it's your friend's child? And like, I got to be there for my boy, right? And sure, you might say yes. But what about if it's not? What if it's some random bystander's child that is in need of protection? Are you going to do it? Would you rise to that occasion? And I think a lot of people online have lost that plot. And that sort of logic also insults other people. It insults stepfathers. It upsets and insults adoptive fathers, uncles, mentors, teachers, even coaches. I had a couple really good coaches in hockey growing up that instilled good wisdom about growing up to be a type of player and to understand how growth works, not just in the game, but outside. But I think things like this show importance of why it's so important to have a good father figure in your life. Why the protective role matters so much. And I think every man who's ever protected a child has done it simply because it was the right thing to do. That's it. It's that simple. It's that basic. It is the right thing to do. And that's why I think these discussions, why this debate matters. And I think that's why Shoe on Head's video is so good, because it's not just about Pragmata. It's about whether we still allow men to be good without without treating their goodness as suspicious. To say like, oh, you're gonna protect that child? I don't know, man. You're kind of sus. You're kind of sus. We gotta watch out for you. Take a sip of coffee. Sorry. I see you guys chatting, and I promise I will go back and read it. I just want to go through my notes. But I appreciate you guys chatting. So why has Pragmata triggered this reaction? No one saw this coming, first of all. And Pragmata has awakened something in a lot of male gamers, because it frames protection as being emotionally meaningful. Hugh Williams in the game is not just surviving for his own sake. He takes responsibility and accountability for Diana, who's, yes, she's an android, but she is innocent, she is curious, she is childlike, and she is vulnerable. She can't take care of herself. And that kind of character naturally creates a protective bond with the player. You playing the protagonist in a game as if this were you, what would you do? How would you respond to this story? If we're trying to escape the world around us and put us in this screen in front of us, in the controller we're using, right? We want to become one with the game. We want to get involved. We put ourselves in the shoes of Hugh and going, wow, all I want to do is protect Diana. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And then one of the other things that Shionhead points out too is there are plenty of other female gamers out there that have become so emotionally invested and have fallen in love with Hugh's character. Like, I want a man like that. I want a dude like that. I want to have a husband like that. That'll be a good father and a good husband. Sure. That in a perfect world, yes. There's obviously some struggles with being in a relationship and falling in love too. And I think in an entirely separate topic, it is very hard to date nowadays because the world has become so toxic. The internet has, I think, ruined things from a in-person type of experience. Online dating is weird, and thankfully I've never had to do it. And I know people have had some success, but very rarely. But I think a bond can remind men of something they may want, but rarely say out loud. Like, how many people, especially dudes, it's not something that like dudes will say by default, especially when they're hanging out with their bros and going, yo, bro, you know what I was thinking about today? What's up, dude? Becoming a father. Like, no one's really having that open conversation. I don't think I've really ever had that conversation, unless it was with a friend of mine who has a child or has a kid, has a son or daughter, and I'm asking, like, how are the kids? Oh, dude, kids are great. Thanks for asking, man. Cool. They tell me stories. Oh, little so and so did this, or when I'll say, for example, one of my buddies has been getting his son into more video games and martial arts and stuff. So, and like, oh, I just introduced him to like X-Men or whatever it was, Batman. And I'm just thinking, dude, that's so awesome. I can't wait to do the same thing and to share my nerdism with my kids, but also I already do it. I already share my nerdism with my nieces and they love it, but it's something that, again, there's this protection that automatically kicks in. There's this fatherhood that actually sounds pretty great. In She One Head's video, she says it when there's not a lot of public discussion about men wanting children or dreaming about having a family. Like, you could say, sure, that's more female oriented, where women want to have this idea of a white picket fence, having a husband and having 5 kids or something crazy, but to each their own. But I think the mainstream conversation often frames men as this commitment phobic, emotionally detached, selfish, and obviously newly predatory type of idea. But I deep down, I do think men want families. I'm sure there's people out here watching right now that you have kids, you have a wife, and I think there are a lot of people out there who do want children, and I think this game might have opened their eyes a bit more, or again, opened something inside of them that maybe they really didn't know they needed until they saw it in front of them. And just as a more hands-on type of experience, experience that there is a desire to protect, to guide and provide, or provide something beyond themselves. So, and I understand that you could say, well, do you have trust that a friend would protect your kid if need be? I think it's why the whole Godfather opportunity presents itself, where in the event something would ever happen to me, I want this person to take care of my kids because I trust that they would be able to guide them, to provide for them, and to protect them, and to continue building a relationship with them in my absence if something were to happen to me. And I don't think that's evoked enough socially because, again, there's this community online that paints a very negative connotation about it, which is just pretty stupid. So then when a game like Pragmata comes and gives them this experience in a very symbolic way, I think it has hit a lot harder than anyone ever expected. And this isn't like men are now weak or they're creepy or there's this incel propaganda. No. There's a simple word for what this is called. Ready for it? Hold on. Let me take a sip of coffee. Look at the chat. Appreciate you guys. Ready? The one word? Humanity. Humanity. That's what that's called. Very simple. Unless you're a weirdo on the internet and you have no idea what that means, which we've seen a lot of. And again, Shewanhead points out in a numerous amount of X posts, which is just hilarious. But again, masculinity is important because protection requires strength. And I think the modern culture often wants the benefits of masculinity, and yet they'll demonize the source of it. So yes, we should have masculinity, but let's demonize Pragmata and the men that are playing it. Also keep in mind, people want safety, they want stability, they want sacrifice, they want leadership, they want courage, and they want protection. And then when men show those instincts that produce these virtues, right? All of a sudden, they're accused of being dangerous or problematic, suspicious. And I think when this happens to people, when people suddenly want to become protective, it isn't like a soft thing, because men have to be strong. Men have to find strength, and it requires a willingness to confront danger. And I think too, right, you could say like a mama bear is always going to protect her cubs, right? And I think we've seen plenty of videos out there where a mother will do whatever it takes to protect her child. But there does come there's a difference between the strength of a man and the strength of a woman. And a physical strength, but also the willingness of a man to be protective and do whatever it takes. And it does require some emotional control and discipline and sacrifice. And that is something that a lot of men are willing to do now more than ever. And when a man protects a child, it's not proving that he wants some sort of control. It's a man that's proving that his strength now has a purpose. Being a protector is having purpose. And this is what healthy masculinity looks like. It's not toxic whatsoever, but that's the negative connotation that these people, these lunatics online are creating. The protector archetype that we talk about sometimes at Masculine Mondays matters because it teaches men that their power is not meant for some sort of ego trip. It is all about responsibility. It teaches that strength is really the most noblest of tiers when it defends the innocent. And we've talked about movies like that before, and we'll talk about more on Monday nights too. But it also teaches that being man or a young man going through manhood or boy going through manhood is not about being consuming or escaping or dominating. It's really about, again, a man wants to stand guard over something that is fragile, it is valuable, and is worth preserving. And being a father, protecting your family, that is worth preserving. And I think that's why these stories that we've mentioned today so far, that's why these stories endure. Again, you can say what you want about The Last of Us or other movies, but I think that's why they matter a lot. And some of them, might not have the most happiest of stories because of the setting that they're in, apocalypse type movies with Logan, Last of Us, The Road, right? But it could just be a dangerous environment like Pragmata, where you're out in space, sci-fi. Space is a scary space, no pun intended, but it's beautiful at the same time. But it could definitely be very dangerous because of the other factors that exist. Again, when you have the characters between Joel and Ellie, or Logan and Laura, you've got Mando and Grogu, Kratos and Atreus, Lee and Clementine, Hugh and Diana. Again, all different genres. Same emotional fact, same emotional truth, same emotional story here. Any broken or hardened man can become more human when they accept responsibility, or he accepts responsibility for someone that's vulnerable and weaker, that they need protection. And I'm not saying you have to be super macho, or you need to have you got to have the muscles, and you have to have the bicep flex. It's not even about that, really. Like, sure, it's nice to have muscles and have a strength to you, but being responsible for someone that's more vulnerable than you are, that's just basic masculinity. That's all it is. And my final notes here, guys, and I'll promise I'll get to the comments. And so I think, again, the reason why I titled this stream about why and how Pragmata exposes masculinity, that and why it still matters. This game is monumental. I'm not going to say it's a generational type game, but it could be a generational type game because of the exposure online and how many people online have become incapable of recognizing the goodness that come from men, that come from you guys out there. A man wanting to protect a child should be one of the least controversial things in the entire world. But because we live in this world, in this, pardon my French, but this fucked up era where masculinity is often treated as inherently suspicious. And even when you have paternal instincts that get dragged into this culture war, it's sick and it's disturbing. That's the real disturbing nature about all this. Not men wanting to protect a child, not men wanting to be masculine. And again, wrapping this all back to Shoe on Head's video, she was absolutely right. And I know she's a mother as well, which she talks about in her video. I didn't know that, but she talks about this as well. And she talks about how kids and a lot of people don't want this responsibility. Women don't even want this responsibility. There was a comment on there that some woman had her tubes tied, and it's like, all right, slut. I'm just kidding. But she was right to call out how insane the discourse online has become. And the people that are attacking men for feeling protective are not exposing male toxicity. They're exposing their own cynicism. They're exposing their own bitterness and their own inability to see masculinity as anything other than oppression. And masculinity is not the enemy here. Masculinity is the shield. It is the protective nature that every man has and that we should have, unless you're some beta male cook that, I'm sorry, you've been hanging around the wrong people. You've been talking around the wrong areas of the world. And maybe you need a strong male and you should, or a protector, or you need a mentor, you need an idol, you need some sort of person out there. You might need Jesus too. But men are not the enemies. And I think it's the thing that says, or we as men can say, I can endure this type of hardship so someone else doesn't have to, right? I'm going to do this thing so you don't have to. It's like watching The Acolyte. I did it because you didn't have to, or you didn't need to. I put myself through that suffering. I'm kidding. But again, it's the man, the nature of man that should say, I will stand between danger and innocence because my job is to protect the innocent. And I think that's the thing that turns strength into service. And if Pragmata reminded us, and I'm not going to say men because I think it's also reminded women that the world needs strong men. It needs masculine men. And if it comes through the platform of a sci-fi video game, then so be it. If it's about a sci-fi game where a man and a childlike android on the moon, okay. And I don't think that's something we should mock, because I think that's something we are in desperate need of. We need these types of stories to evoke and remind us of what we should be. And for the people in the comments that were mentioned in Shoeonhead's video, oh, well, just wait until kids get all snotty and you got to change their diapers and they're annoying. And it's like, maybe you didn't remember yourself. Maybe ask your parents what you were like. You were probably the same damn way. That's just what growing up is. Copying an attitude. Kids say the darndest things. You got to watch what they say because they will repeat everything. Let me tell you what. Bad words, good words, hilarious moments. I love spending time with my nieces because they are hilarious characters. And at one day, I will be a father. I want nothing more than to be a father. And I know a lot of you guys are out there who are fathers as well. And I thank you guys a lot. So all right. Back to the comments. Sorry, that was a rant. Sorry, that was all my notes I had. If you want to go check out Shoeonhead's video, by all means, she makes some excellent points. These were just my notes and thoughts and takeaways from her video. Again, go play the damn game. If anything, just buy it to support it. I think it's a wonderful game. I've not completed it yet, but I'm enjoying it. So, but yeah. Let me go back and read some of these chats here. So I will play catch up on chats now. Much like people have tried to play catch up on my videos or my live stream. Let's see here. I saw Boosh, what's up? Let's see. Because I saw Leon the Professional. Hell yeah, ever since I saw you mention that comment. Kids can get you beers, yeah. Let's see. I hope the girl in high school, she had publicly known to have an abortion. I figured it's not mine, but it's still scary. I was 17 at the time. Yeah, and things happen, right? It just worked out, no hernia. 100% let heroes be heroes and provide positive, morally minded, and protective characters for our young men to follow. Exactly. It's kind of like your comment earlier, Darth Stud, where I started this because when you have children, they either don't let you nap or you need to run interference for the napping wife. And yeah, kids are a handful. And especially for myself, where I've helped raise my nieces since birth, I've gotten a wake-up call as to how much attention kids need, especially in their infancy. The sleepless nights that you have, you know, so it's but it's just part of it. And I understand that people might not like it, and I know it's not easy, but again, anything worthwhile is never easy, and that's part of what makes you, I think, not just a better person, but a better father. It makes you a better human being, that you're taking care of something that cannot protect itself, that can't fend for itself. A child cannot earn its own money and cook or clean itself. They may try to imitate it when they're a little bit older, as toddlers, but they're never going to do as good a job, right, as their mother or father. Let's see here. Correction. Yeah, liberal white women. Exactly. Let's see. Bruce says, we're on the back deck. A neighbor's kid ran after a ball toward the street. Me and a couple other men bolted towards the kid to keep him on the road. No one would. This is exactly my point, Boosh. Exactly my point. And I think, number one, men would just inherently run faster than women. No offense to women out there. There are fast women out there, but again, this is the nature that I'm going to run to shield this kid from the car, because they're just in play mode. Got to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get the kid out of the way from the car. But that's exactly the same thing. We don't think, oh dear, what do I do? We just act. You don't just sit here and go and freeze and go, oh my God, the kid's running after the ball and there's a car coming. Oh noes, what are we ever going to do? Men don't think that. We're just like, we go, simple math. Car coming, ball going towards street, kid chasing ball. Oh my God, I gotta run. Where's the trajectory of me intercepting the kid, not the ball, but the kid, to protect him or her? Wayfair, what's up, dude? Yes, appreciate the likes and subscribe. It's free. Come on now. YouTube sucks with their algorithms. Yo, Crowbacks, what's going on, my brother? How are you doing? Good, man. Good. Just had a nice rant about why masculinity still matters in Pragmata. So, which I'm sure you probably just heard too. Indeed, guys. Also, why I love The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Another movie we covered, right? Yeah, when Mel loses it over his son dying, dude. My dad said that ain't a ghost. That's a pissed off father. Yeah, dude. Exactly. Toxic masculinity is from women trying to stop men from being masculine. Yeah, that's what the whole phrase came up with. But what about toxic femininity nowadays, huh? What about that? I'm surprised that word doesn't get used enough. I just told that story. We men didn't care whose kid it was. Save the child. Yeah, that's the inherent principle, right? Yeah, being a good Samaritan, being a good citizen. Sydney Sweeney can save me. She's got. Kojo's right. She's got great genes, and she's got good pillows. I got a neck ache. Maybe just some nice rest. It'd be wonderful. Let's see here. What else? Yeah, every heteronormative man is sus, according to the modern audience, which is just so dumb, dude. I can't stand it. Playing Helldivers with Crash is a beautiful thing. My son will rock RPGs with this old man too. Yeah, dude, I love that for you guys, man, and that's why I enjoy playing Helldivers with you guys. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. Mad Dog with the 499. I'm sending an email to Film Threat for a chance for a job. Hell yeah, I'd love it if you join and help me. It's on Edge of Tomorrow, or anything. It's a resume, dude. Hit me up if you need pointers or anything. I'd be happy to help you, man. One of my buddies did a short film, and he actually submitted it to Film Threat. This is maybe maybe longer than now, 4 years ago. They gave him a 7 out of 10. But yeah, dude, absolutely. Shoot your shot. And here's the thing, dude. Even Mad Dog, even if you don't hear back or you get a no, don't let this stop you from doing it again. Polish it up. Maybe you try again. Be the persistent one. Because I mean, I would say I appreciate persistency. You know, it's like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, as it were. Clip wise, I don't have many Peaky Blinders clips. Let me see what I got for you though. Ooh, some of my recent clips are from True Romance. But since we're talking about masculinity here, though, I think we should mention this, because this was one of the first movies we did this year for Masculine Mondays with Secondhand Lines.
Hub McCann. I fought in 2 world wars and countless smaller ones on 3 continents. I led thousands of men into battle with everything from horses and swords to artillery and tanks. I've seen the headwaters of the Nile and tribes of natives no white man had ever seen before.
Loved only one woman. Hub McCann, R.I.P. Robert Duvall. Masculine men, though. Humanity, what a concept. It's so simple, and yet so many people are ignorant to it online. And there are plenty of people who aren't online that are still ignorant to it. I got my father to play Wii Sports with my niece. She loved Papa so much. That's awesome. Guys, I need to say something. So one of my nieces, her birthday's coming up next month in June. And she comes up to me and she says, Uncle Nick. I'm like, what's up? She goes, for my birthday, I want to have a Star Wars themed birthday. I was like, we could do that. Because like any right man, they would only show their child episodes 4, 5, and 6, which is what I did. The OGs. That's all you need. She loves Darth Vader. She loves Chewbacca. Like, hell yeah. So I have to get her a lightsaber now for her birthday. I'll read your paragraphs. Let's see here. These are all great comments, guys. I really do appreciate it. I love seeing these stories and moments. I really do. I think it's stuff like this that really matters, that doesn't get enough exposure, doesn't get enough commentary, really. So, and yes, sometimes a dad has to show some tough love, but whooping his son's ass at video games. That was one of the things that we joked about. One of my buddies, his son, he would show him how to play some fighting games. And at one point he's like, Dad, I'm really good. And I beat Street Fighter on the 7 stars. He's like, oh, let's play. And so he would kind of just toy around with them, not really go too hardcore. And then at one point he kind of turned up the heat, and then just like, oh, Dad, like, don't you let me win? Let you win. I ain't letting you do anything. You got to earn that W, son. Swimming, I used to play dunk with the boys. Oh, you guys became scuba divers? That's cool. Yeah, Kojo, exactly. A woman will always choose the mama bear, so no need to exercising that toxic masculinity they complain so much about. Exactly. Dad taught us to be men. It isn't just about being stronger or faster or smarter. There's understanding and compromise and responsibility. Right, exactly. Like, not every person is going to be super muscular and 6'9". You know what I'm saying? So, or can run a 4-minute mile or sub 5-minute mile. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that men have to have in tune with it, and for the understanding and the compromise and just basic responsibility. But I will say, like, I think I'm not saying you have to go out and look like Arnold. You know what I'm saying? But I do think whether it's your average yard work, what that makes you get your hands dirty, where you have to carry heavy shit sometimes, or you're just going to the gym just to maintain and keep your body in motion, right? Keep your joints strong, keep your ligaments strong, keep your muscles in check. Because I mean, listen, when you don't exercise to a certain extent, you will lose muscle mass. That is just a scientific fact. And I'm not saying that you need to eat like a bodybuilder or a power lifter as well, but that's also where trying to eat healthy in some regard too, it just allows the longevity to happen, to occur. So I do think, for the sake of having this idea of brains and bronze being equally important is true, right? I'm not trying to compete in any sort of tournament, right, for aesthetics. I'm not trying to get my IBFF pro card in the fitness industry. I was maybe 10 years ago, but I didn't really want it that bad, because that can be like politicized, and I don't like that. But to be strong in case someone is in need of it, and to maintain healthiness, that's why I did it. So I still do it. My dad shut down jumping off the roof. Mom drew the line. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Rossi! What up? Gooch and Rossi. Did I miss Gooch? Is Gooch in here? Or are we just saying Gooch and Rossi? Like, big guy, little guy. Rossi, how you doing, brother? Thank you for the wink, and Rose, $2. Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. We could play this for you on Rossi.
Man talk.
Sometimes you just need to tell a woman with the back of your hand. Sometimes you just need to get a little slap. Rossi, you are not a beta cuck. Rossi, I think you would be a great father. It will be a great father. Hold on. This looks... Rossi, I made burgers, confit, and leftover carnitas, infused oil, then seared them, topped with caramelized onions and mushrooms, side of homemade fried okra and fries. I am very well. Damn it, Boosh! I was a little hungry after that rant. That rant made me hungry, but damn, now I'm just... We're starving, precious. We are famished. We are... Yeah, no, I was just joking about the apology. Never apologize to the people online. I'm an alpha buck. You know, dude, you know what's another good movie? Oh my God. I just thought of it. I'm trying to play catch up on chat. Now I feel your guys' pain. Holy crap. You know what reminded me of another movie? Uncle Buck with John Candy. Yes, smash the like button. Give me some brawn. A mother sees potential danger and frets. A father knows potential danger and laughs. That's true. Dad pro tip for the first 6 months: when they sleep, you sleep. Oh, dude, yeah. I kind of learned that. I was like, oh, I need to sleep when they sleep. I'm assuming I got your chat for this. I didn't miss your shit. Foot speed has zero to do with it. We did something instead of saying someone should do something. 100%. Yeah, actions speak a lot of than words, and you don't have to be super fast. It's just you just need to do it. You need to commence an action. Don't you ever distract Robert Duvall? Yeah, you can never interrupt Robert Duvall in anything. Never. Mall themed? Absolutely not. It's gonna be Grogu themed. I'm kidding. No. Yeah, it won't be Disney Star Wars. No way at all. Matt Dog says, I think I said, but look at my comment below. If one of them when I'm getting to or above. Tell me if I need to go up or down. In the past, Mad Dog, or in the future of where I'm looking at it this way. I'm talking with AJ, Abomination AJ, on Twitter about R.L. Stein. Dude, love R.L. Stein. Love Goosebumps. Created a massive fan base. It did. And then Fear Street, and then Buffy. Us men love strong female characters, not girl bosses. Dude, I collected and read every single Goosebumps book as a kid. I loved those stories. Say Cheese and Die. One of my favorite books. I think I had, I want to say maybe the first 60 books. I think I still have them all too. In a box in storage. And oh, dude, Invincible Girl Bosses. I cannot wait until we are out of this era where every girl boss every female character we see is supposed to be this subjected, invincible, undefeatable girl boss. I can't wait till we're past this stupid era. It's so dumb. Shield Wall, what's up, dude? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Our plan is to have Red Rising be Jay's book of the month in May. Still have to vote, but trying to make it happen. Please join it if you will. I love the second book. Is perfect. I can see the argument. Also, Drunk 3PO is going to be his book of the month that he reads. I don't remember exactly what he does for that, Mad Dog. So does he just read it, or does he talk about it? I don't know if he has open people or it's just in chat sort of thing. I have the first two books. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I think we talked about it on a brief stream, I want to say, but not Captain Marvel was a huge coffin nail in the MCU. It was, and I think that was another staple where it was like, man, what are we doing here? You came out and you said that Captain Marvel was stronger than the Hulk and Thor. It was at that moment that I know Kevin Feige had lost the plot and said, nope, dude's washed. I told my friends back in 2019, Kevin Feige's washed. What do you mean? What do you mean Kevin Feige's washed? We just got Infinity War. We're just getting Endgame. I'm like, dude, Captain Marvel is not stronger and is not the savior of the Avengers. She never was. She never will be. That is a farce. It is false. It's stupid. She was never stronger than any of them. I don't even think she'd be listed as in the top 20 of strongest Marvel characters in comic book history. Exactly. Keep your pimp hand strong. I think it's lying. Real men have old man muscle. No, that's true. I mean, that's what we said before. When you see an old man and you try an old man and you're like, oh crap, we should not have messed with that old dude. Yeah, exactly. We're not lazy. We're resting because some kid might run in the street. My friend once said, dude, why you walk slow? Like, what? You walk slow. I walk at a decent, normal pace. It's like you walk where you have purpose. well, I am purposely walking to my destination, which me taking a couple extra steps or lengthening my stride is not going to make a difference in the long run in the scheme of things. And I always say, I'm conserving my energy. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, in case there's something that I need to act quick to, I have all my energy in reserves. And so there was one time it was at night and it was windy and we were downtown, and then one of my friends, she had a hat on and the wind blew it and kept blowing it into the street. And there was a car that was coming, and granted it was going to come to like a red light. I know it's not super masculine at all, but the point being was that I bolted to run and grab it before I got ran over. And yeah, I was just being maybe chivalrous is the appropriate term. And then I brought it back, and he literally goes, "Holy shit, dude! I didn't know you were that quick." I was like, "See, conserving my energy." Just a little schmack. 30 minutes left of work. Hell yeah, dude. I am going to definitely have a large meal after this. I'm starving. Boosh, want to cook me some food? I'll come over. Yeah, Uncle Buck is awesome. Hi, Buck Melanoma. Molly's Ward. Haha, Ward. Here's a quarter. Go downtown and, dude, that line was just, here's a quarter. Go downtown and pay a rat to gnaw that thing off your face, and just walks out of the principal's office. Dude, one of my favorite moments in that entire movie. Oh my gosh. Or when he at the end of the movie too, Boosh, when he's trying to find, wow, God, what's the older daughter's name? Which we might actually have to talk about that on Masculine Mondays. Because of things that are happening in the exposure from Pragmata, I almost feel like we have to absolutely talk about that. Because when what's the dude's name? The kid's name that the daughter's the daughter likes, but he's, oh God, what is it? I have to look it up now. Let's see, Uncle Buck. Tia. So when Buck is trying to save Tia from Bug, Tia's boyfriend, yes, Bug. That's a red flag. Guys, never let your daughter date someone named Bug. Ever. But when he's looking for Tia, Boosh, and he goes to the party and just walks in and no one really cares that there's this older guy in like a trench coat and a hat with a cigar or whatever in his mouth. And then he comes in with the, what was it? The chainsaw or right into the room. And it's not Tia that Bug's in bed with. It's with someone else. And then he goes in his car and finds her walking down the street. Bug. Thanks, Bean. The guy named Bug. Dude, I love that part, man. And yeah, Uncle Buck is a real man. Overweight, sure. Bad car, yes. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're absolutely right. He loves his family, protects them. You bet your ass. That did look gay sound away. Bug, yeah. Okay, it was a grind. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. Chop saw. Was it a drill? Do we need to look it up online real quick? We might need to look up online, y'all, for accuracy purposes. Yeah, we'll do 2 things. Hang on. Uncle Buck. Let's see. It's a drill. It's a drill. Oh man, hold on. Share screen. This is so good. If you haven't seen Uncle Buck, I highly recommend it.
I'm Anita Horgarth.
Buck melanoma. Molly Russell's wart. No.
Buck melanoma. Oh man, there's no one like John Candy.
Not her wart. Not her wart. I'm the wart. She's my tumor. My
She's my tumor. Who says that, dude? Oh God.
my growth. My pimple. I'm Uncle Wart. Just old Buck Wart Russell. That's what they call me. Or melanoma head. No.
Like he's already so far gone, he's just digging himself even deeper a hole.
Call me that. Melanoma head's coming. I'm sorry, Uncle. Maisie Russell's uncle. I'm her uncle.
Yeah, so they talk about Maisie, who's apparently not doing well or whatever in school. That's right. This was her teacher.
Maisie.
My uncle was microwaving my socks and the dog threw up on the couch for about an hour.
Honest?
Yes.
Why was your uncle microwaving your socks?
He can't get the goddamn washing machine to work.
Listen, the accuracy in this, and you know what's okay. I have to also raise this point too. Okay. Because this just reminded me of Shoe on Head's video where someone was making a comparison about the way Diana's hair looks in the game, right? Like it's kind of frizzy. It looks much like Maisie's hair, even though Maisie has like 2 pigtails. It's not like super combed or whatever. It's not straight. It's not super polished up, where someone created like an AI cleanup photo next to the one that's from the like in game, and it's like, no, the kids don't always have perfectly straightened hair or whatever. It's not immaculately. They're kids. It's going to get all tangled. And kids will say the darndest things. I've heard my nieces say stuff and I'm like, where the hell did you hear that? Now, teaching them better manners, like I said, no, we don't say those words. We say, oh, shoot, instead. You can say, oh, my God. Those are more acceptable. No, I 100% remember the side ponytail and scrunchies in the 90s. That was my generation. Exactly. Kids get rat's nests in their hair real easy. 100% Shieldwall. 100%. 100%. And I do to Darth said I agree. 2 fondest John Candy movies from childhood: Great Outdoors, Nothing But Trouble. Both great movies. Just the fact that she repeated this, because he says that in the movie. Like, of course, kids are going to say that. Yeah, let's fast forward to this part.
You're no good. You so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in this school, and I hear about it, I'm coming looking for you. Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face.
Oh, man. The shock on her face is immaculate. Do lice breakouts happen anymore? The whole school would inform parents in the community got together to embarrass us kids. I would imagine they do. I don't think lice has gone anywhere these days, but I would imagine it does. He'd be in jail these days. I think in the wrong state or city, probably, Shield Wall, which is stupid. But yeah, great medical advice. That would be amazing, though. You say that to a teacher or even a principal, and you see them again next time. What are you gonna say?
Good day, man.
It's the fact that he just winks and then leaves. So the other part too, where Buck calls he calls Shanice, and he goes looking for Tia. Let's see here. Let me fast forward it to. So he goes to a party. If you haven't seen the movie, he goes to a party looking for his oldest niece, the oldest daughter, Tia, because he's afraid Bug is going to take advantage of her at this party. And the way the movie frames it is, there's a girl that looks similar to her with curly hair. So he's putting the moves on her. He's walking through the crowd. Let me just share my screen at this point. Just walking through the crowd, right? Looking for her. What a boss. I think so, yeah. Someone takes his fedora.
Hey, come back here with that.
So then I think someone says upstairs, right? But Bug's upstairs, which you think it's Tia. And so I think this is the part.
Hey, this room's taken.
I want to go. No, you don't.
That door opens. I'm gonna kick somebody's ass.
So it's locked. Bug's trying to act like a tough guy. He's not the alpha, though.
Did you hear me?
I should probably mute the volume here. I like this sort of horror aspect, which is not anything to do with this movie, but it's still kind of funny the way it pans out. Oh my god, that's so awesome. Buck isn't the alpha either. He is Scar, Mufasa combined. I can agree to that. I can agree to that. Yeah. Man walks in with a drill and a cigar and is smiling. You done messed up, kid. How could you imagine? Yeah. Uncle Buck the Equalizer. If only. Yeah, Shieldwall got it right. Yep. But it's not Tia though. It's not Tia. So then the idea is, well, sweetheart, you should probably go home. So he leaves. But then he finds her. And I love the fact that there's a bit of a happy ending between them too. Like she realizes the goodness in his nature, and they have a really good talk in the car, and the way it just ends, like her attitude, her perception of him is completely changed. It's a great movie. I do really enjoy it. So I might get a lot of the themes on your quiz master. Heck yeah. Well, guys, this was fun. I really did enjoy talking about this. I might clip this rant out and put it into a video as well, perhaps. Gotta head out, gents. Love the rant. Didn't disagree with any of it. Beans, I thank you so much. And thank you for hanging out. Hope you have a wonderful Friday and weekend. And I will see you maybe Monday and or Tuesday or something like that. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Have fun. May the 4th be with you. Something like that. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that rant and make a video out of it, honestly. So just polish it up a little bit. Dad used to record TV show themes on cassettes and then play them for me and my brother. Help with our memory. Yeah, there's a lot of great material out there to help with that. And I think it's really weird. Well, not say weird, but it's interesting because of this era for parents that also, you know, use their phones or, you know, the tablet generation for kids, right? Because like when we were growing up, there weren't any handheld devices. It was just, I mean, maybe until the Game Boy came around. But even then, I think I was a bit older. But being younger, it was just a toy. We had our toys. We had our favorite toys. And maybe an action figure, train, or something like that, right? I think my sister had a, you know, stuffed animal, whatever. Like there weren't any handheld devices to put in front and go, okay, here's the phone. Watch the phone. Let me watch the phone as a kid and then just be distracted. So I sit at the dinner table. Now, it does help for sure. But I think even in moderation, and having worked in the technology field, I was still working in the technology field for about, how long have I been in technology now? 14 years. I do see the pros and cons about it. And I think the idea of having a child rely on it is where the problem is. I think the idea is to have kids understand that it is a tool, much like I specified to my nieces where I was doing some, you know, fixing up. I was putting together a table, right? I had a drill, had a hammer, and a screwdriver, whatnot, right? So Allen wrench. And so I'm sitting here building this table, and they go, what's this? This is a drill. It goes, you know, fast when you pull the trigger. It goes this way, it goes that way. And hey, what's this? It's a hammer. What's this? It's called an Allen wrench. You know, and I love it, you know, when the kids go, they'll try to pronounce it right, an Allen wrench. So my explanation to like my nieces was, so see how I use these tools to build something. This is tools that are helpful. They are useful because I need these tools to build this table. And then when I'm done building the table, I put my tools away and I don't need to use them anymore, because now we can eat dinner at this table and we sit down in the chairs. So I said, you have to think about when you want to watch a video or, movie on the iPad or the phone, you have to look at it as a tool. This is only going to provide you something at the moment, and then when you're done using it, you put it away and you don't need it all the time. I was like, I don't need this drill all the time. And of course, my generation growing up, we were outside constantly. Now I will say, when like Nintendo came around, like, yeah, like I don't know how we would do it, with the amount of time. I swear time just acted different when we were growing up. Like it's like I would go to school, then I would still have time to play outside, and still have time to play some video games, and then somehow sleep for 7-8 hours, and then all do it time and time again. So I don't know. It was definitely strange. It was definitely weird how time was perceived, but that's sort of what I try to emphasize is, okay, we're gonna kick the soccer ball around, or we're gonna play tag, right? Play hide and go seek, whatever, just to run around outside. Like they have scooters, so we'll run. I'll run after them or whatever. So there's definitely I think a lot of new areas of opportunity these days with with technology and the usefulness that they can provide for kids and their focus. I think there are good apps and videos, again, like you were saying, Boosh, to help focus in and understand things. I found a really good app that has, and you can do it on obviously like a pen and paper, but has gotten my nieces engaged with it. They want to draw on like the iPad with like the Apple Pencil or whatever, and learn how to trace the lines. Which again, you could do it on there, but like when we're out and about, sometimes it's like it's really helpful. Or when we're in the car, stuff like that. My dad had handheld video games like Space Invaders and stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Game Boy was great though, dude. I was going to say something. I totally forgot. My mom helped me read Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson when I was 6, and she gave me a book report to see if I understood. That's awesome, dude. Blue with the 199. Uncle Buck is in my top 15 comedies. Fight me, Nick. Dude, I'm not gonna fight you. I agree. Uncle Buck is underrated. The amount of homework elementary school gave my niece was fantastic. Fanatic. It was insane. Yeah, I realized the amount of homework and the type of homework that she was given in kindergarten this year. And I'm like, wow. I don't remember getting this much, but damn, I appreciate it. Life's like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. Dude, Darth, you were absolutely right. Exactly. You ain't wrong. But every now and then you get a no wipers. Life ain't good. Touche, Boosh. Touche. Good analogy. I mean, it's insane, for the fact that it's May 1st already into 2026. And I feel like we just got into 2026 2 months ago, but it's like the time has doubled up almost. It's really scary. And I think too, this is what my dad always used to tell me, enjoy the time when you're a kid, enjoy the time with your friends, play outside, or if you're playing inside, enjoy the time with your friends. And because time acts differently when you're a kid. When you get old, time starts flying by. I never really understood what that meant until I got a bit older, and then I'm like, oh, yeah. That is definitely true. So, but yeah. Anyway, it does feel like just 2 months have passed. Yeah, and I think too, I've mentioned this a couple times to a few different people in person. I feel like we work too hard. I think the idea of this American fantasy, or the fantasy of working in America, living in America, is just keep grinding for the work, keep like never stop working, basically. You know, just keep grinding no matter what. You know, it's like the 40-hour work week is not good enough. It's gotta be like the 60-hour work week. And then when burnout happens, you're like, the hell am I doing? You know, it's like, especially like when your salary, 40 hours is the same as 60 hours. Now, the amount of work that you have to do can be different depending on the job and industry, but you know, I really, I kind of despise this sort of outlook now. Like it's just pile on more work yourself to the bone, and then you know, you may or may not get burnt out. But then time just passes you by, and it's like, dude, oh, that's why sometimes when I get to the end of the week, I mean, really, I think the only thing that separates my days from going, what day is it, is because of like, it's like, what stream am I on today? It's like, oh, it's like, it is Monday, right? You know, Master Mondays. Or as Tuesdays, okay, we're talking about a new TV show. Or like Wednesdays, okay, I'm on with ABF. Thursdays, might be playing a video game. And then now with Fridays afternoon, it's like, okay, but I mean, I'll never forget a Friday. Sometimes like the week when I talk with my clients, I'm like, what day is it today? Oh, today's Wednesday. I'm like, damn, I thought today was Tuesday, or I thought today was Thursday already. Like, it happens all the time. Go work out your traps and deltoids. Looks scrawny. Yeah. Oh, dude, I did back last night though, Boosh. Like, was doing some heavy rows. Oh man, I was doing there's a certain type of like pull down bar that has it's like flat handles on the sides, not like the bars, but like it's like flat handles. It's sort of like, it's like a V bar that kind of goes down like this. It's like almost like a W type of bar, but it has like flat handles. You can kind of cusp like this. They make one where it's like a V closer in the middle for like close grip pull downs. They make like a middle range, and then they make a wide range lat pull down. Dude, I did some wide range lat pull downs, and even if I just flex it like that, dude, my lats are burning right now. I got that lactic acid. Oh, damn. It was a good day though. It was a good day. I'm gonna do chess today though. I used to be grinding and build a life, a family, equity, investments, and relax. Now it's grind and know nothing. And dude, 100% Boosh. It's like, but put your pedal to the metal, and then just grind it out, and then you'll get nothing in return. But keep grinding. I watched Uncle Buck on my channel a few months back. The pancake scene, dude. Yeah, that's great too. Was working minimum 60 hours a week. Yeah. 2 years with several injuries, no vacation, no college. It's hard, dude. And there were times where at some of the companies that I worked for that have what they call it, what's the word? Endless PTO. right? So there's no real cap on the amount of days I can request off, right? As long as I get my work done, right? I'm not falling behind. I'm not costing the company money. I'm not, pissing off my clients, right? Sort of thing. I'm up to date with my work. And dude, I think that the past couple of months, it would be Thursday and I've already worked 60 hours. And so some of these for the past couple of months, it's like Mondays, Tuesdays, I would, work 8:30, 9 a.m. and I would work directly up until like I would stream. And then I would stream starting at 9 on a Monday till whatever, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. sometimes, right? Go to sleep for 5 hours, 6 hours, wake up, do it again. Now, some days I would be able to, like, close the laptop at maybe 6 p.m., go work out, maybe jump on an earlier stream or, work out, eat, and then, stream after that. But I mean, yeah, it's, and even then, obviously, like YouTube can get burnt out and whatnot. So I understand that too. But and there's definitely a balance that I think needs to occur. But I think for the sake of having a healthy balance in realizing that, YouTube, yes, this is a bit of a hobby, and I'm not a famous streamer or anything like that, right? But I enjoy talking to, whether it's 2 people or 2 million people, it doesn't matter to me. It's the idea of just having a good conversation, good topics, and having fun to do it, that prevent a burnout or kind of separate things from the reality. But not to say that YouTube can't burn you out, because it can. It obviously has happened to people we know. So, but yeah, I hope at some point in the future, work for everyone doesn't feel like a burnout. And I'd say too, like, if you enjoy what you do, then is it really a job? Is it really a burnout type of atmosphere? No, not necessarily. But I would think that, having some variability in your life can definitely be beneficial, right? It's kind of like, going out, making sure you engage with other people. Do you have a hobby, right? Whatever it happens to be, if it's playing video games, hang out with your friends, your kids, your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, whatever. Going to see a movie, whatever. We need things in our lives that break up the day, by Friday, I get in at 6 a.m. and leave by 8 p.m. dead on my feet, and I got to open the store Saturday. It's more dangerous than driving after 6 beers. Yeah, dude, like, it's like exhaustion is real. It really is, Boosh. It really is. Because I remember last year, for me, things really picked up in October, like beginning mid-October, and I got super busy with the amount of projects I had going on. And while I was told, like, yeah, things might kind of fall off around the holidays, like Thanksgiving was a nice couple day of break for me. But coming back to it, and it was work up until Christmas week. And then even Christmas week was, personally, for personal reasons, things got real busy, and which I won't really get into, but I didn't, it was weird. Like, this, like, Christmas season didn't feel that special this time. And I think because there was just so much going on and we're so busy, and there was, like, concern in certain areas of our lives. And it was like, I remember up until Christmas Day, like, we celebrated Christmas here in Orlando, and then I had to drive 3 hours Christmas Day to the rest of my family. Hadn't slept at all Christmas Eve because I was up wrapping presents and getting everything ready and packing and doing everything else, you know, and hadn't really slept much that week as well. And when it came down to the next day after Christmas, so like Christmas night, I slept for I was at my parents' house and I slept for 14 hours straight. Didn't take anything. I didn't have anything to drink. Didn't have like any melatonin. Didn't, you know, have any THC or anything like that. My body was like, Nick, we're shutting down for a bit, my dude, because you need to regenerate. You're exhausted. And it was kind of everything up to that point too. Like I didn't even work out that whole week after Christmas, of course, because I was like, my body was just done. And it was like a rest I definitely needed. And at one point in my parents' guest room in their house, my dad knocks on the door, doesn't answer. He comes in and like pokes me. He's like, "Hey, bud, still with us?" And I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Ah, God, I just tired." He's like, "It's 3:30," and I'm like, "Okay, I got up soon." Thanks, Dad. You know, and thinking about it, I went to bed like before midnight, and I'm like, by the time I got up, I'm like, did I just sleep like 14 hours? Like, I don't know if I've ever slept that long in my entire life. Anyway, sleep is sometimes important, but I feel like you could sleep like 6 hours a night if you have a full life. There's a difference between having a full life and a busy life. So, scrawny little girly chest. I know. That's right. I'll push the weights, Boosh. I'll do you proud. It always reminds me of this clip here.
Stop money! Don't fucking scream at me. Where's you the money? Fuck you. Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat and you scroungy little bastard. Fuck you guys.
Go to the gym, Joe.
Love that movie. Oh gosh. Anyway, okay, I streamed a little bit longer than I intended to here, but you guys were awesome, and I love the conversation. You learn about naps when you're a manager of a restaurant. That's true. It is it is called I am blanking on the name. Why am I blanking on the name? It was in the 20 teens. Is it Sabotage? I think it's called Sabotage. You needed to talk, so did I. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Sabotage. I think, no, is it Sabotage? I don't remember. I think it's either Sabotage or yeah, I think it was Sabotage. I have to check. Wait, actually, you know what? Hey, I think I can find out from. Let me go to my video files and let's see here. My video clips will show what it was. Yeah, it's from Sabotage. Okay, that's what I thought. Had to look for the video file. I had Arnold Sabotage. Okay. Kojo, am I streaming Monday? I certainly am. Yeah, so 50th episode of Masculine Mondays this Monday. We're doing Seven Samurai. Someone I like and I admire said, you have to be a narcissist to want to run a stream so you can control everything, you know? Who's, well, I don't even know who that was, but I mean, I don't know how that makes me a narcissist or anyone a narcissist. Now, I'm sure there are narcissists that do stream for sure. I said, no, sometimes people just need to talk to someone or just talk because the only thing they said all day was, Gracie, you want to go outside? Yeah, dude, I mean, I do think that sometimes streaming can definitely be an escape, right? And I think in some cases, we get to talk to people. Like I get to talk to you guys that, you know, not every day, right? Like I don't expect everyone to watch every single day or like people. I know like everyone else out there has lives. You guys have lives to live. You guys have responsibilities and accountability for other things. And that's why it's always cool to see people in the chat, just to see like that people are still around too, right? Everything is okay. No one's in danger. No one's in need of saving. But like I get it, people have stuff going on, right? People have things to do. But sometimes, yeah, if it's just us and yeah, I figured Gracie was your puppy. But yeah, there's not a lot of interaction or there might be some things to say that might not hit with certain people. Like there's definitely topics that I may not get to share with other people in person that I can go and make a video or I can go on a Friday afternoon and talk about some of these things and go on a rant because you just need to. And yes, Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. Some people are narcissistic because they won't shut the fuck up on a panel. Trust me, we've all been there. On my Tuesday show, sometimes I won't talk for 30 minutes because my panel's on fire. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I think that's the other thing, too, where if you're a host of your channel, right, like there are certain people who are hosts that they talk a lot more than their guests or their panel. Or and if it's a repeating panel, right, like take Open Bar as an example. Between Drinker and Mahler, you know, who are obviously always there for every stream, they'll say enough. Then whoever Drinker has on for guests that week, he allows them to say what they want. But I think you know, for streams, there needs to be a level of like mutual respect where the host, like your point, Blue, and this happens like on you know, Masculine Mondays too, where if someone's going off on a point of like, oh no, this is like really good conversation here, or you know, this is really good point or a really good extrapolation about this character or point in the movie, right? Like Niad will also do that as well when we're talking about movies on movie nights with Niad, like on Sunday nights now. There's definitely been a couple times where I've gone off on a little rant, which I say I don't feel bad about. But it's like I want to make sure that I'm saying my piece, and then I won't talk maybe for, you know, another 30 minutes or something like that. But yeah, it's like a give and take. Like hosts need to understand that people on their panel, even if they're repetitive panelists, they need their space too to say their piece. But I think also people on the panel too need to make sure that they don't hog up all the time too, because there's obviously like a limited amount of time. But I don't think there's like this control of like being. I mean, I'd say most people I know aren't narcissistic that stream. There are some that are, but you know, we observe. What's up, Rachel? How you doing, girly? Hope you're having a good Friday. Oh, dude, Bush, I know. It's interesting to have panels call out people for interrupting when they're the worst offenders. Yeah. That is hilarious. Rachel, you were hacked? I didn't get a message from you that you need to support on X. I'll still get them from random people. Matt Cat, I got one from him. I agree with Blue. We're human. Sometimes we just need to talk. 100%. And that's what I've told people. Okay, you were not hacked. Okay, good to hear that. That's what I've told the people. Or like, you know, I've said, whether it's on Discord or X, I know not everyone uses X, or I know not everyone uses Discord, but I've said that, you know, if people just need to just chat, like I'll be like, bro, just hit me up on X or YouTube, whatever. Just, you know, don't feel bad, like, you know, like you're taking up my time, like I pay by the hour to respond, right? Like I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to charge you for reading a message. So, but yeah, I'll try to get to it when I can. But I think just some sort of communication is always good. Like it's always nice to talk, and even if it's on stream sometimes. And I think too for, yeah. So if also someone's making a point, take a break when they talk, and those breaks dead air aren't an invite for someone else to start. That's where I screw up. I think too, Boosh, maybe when someone's maybe thinking about something in the moment and they're trying to, not for some sort of emphasis, but maybe for emphasis too. It's like if we already know what we're talking about, we're watching Terminator 2 again, and we're talking about moments. We've already seen something. It's not something that really needs a lot of thought to convey certain points, but maybe if it's certain things that, you know, you're requiring a moment in pause, sometimes it does happen. And I think too, to Rachel's point, like we're all human, right? So sometimes interruptions will occur. And I think obviously, let's say most people are mature enough to recognize it. Now, one of the things I despise, and there's a guy I work with that will definitely like talk over people. Not necessarily with me, but when he does it to other people, I'm just like, dude, shut up and let the person talk. Like, just give her 5 more seconds to finish, have her saying what she's saying, or have him finish what he's saying, and then say what you need to say. Like, we all can wait 5 more minutes. We've got an hour-long meeting here, sort of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's just understanding. Like, and I think too, Boost, like when it might become more natural if you're used to streaming with the same people, right? Like when I stream with like Goodwin, Gord, you know, I know that they can have a lot to say sometimes. So I'll usually wait till they're done talking, and then I might, you know, I'll pop in, or I'll say what I need to say. There's definitely sometimes where, and I think maybe if it's 2 people on a stream, it's easier to have one person say and kind of go back and forth. But if it's multiple people, yeah, sometimes it's hard for some other people to kind of get their word in. And so sometimes, you know, being a good host is recognizing, oh, I haven't heard someone pop in and say some words for this topic. And so it's like, hey, well, I want to hear what so-and-so has to say about this. What do you think about this movie or topic, whatever? And then I think that sort of recognition can kind of appear to everyone else going, oh yeah, I should probably, you know, be quiet for just a moment. Let this person who hasn't said anything. It's like having like a little self-awareness essentially, but person blue holding pencil. Goodwin runs over people all the time. It's one of his strengths. Well, when you're 6'9", it's kind of hard not to run over people. Yeah, there's a difference between making a point and endlessly interrupting people and never being wrong. It's sad. Rachel, your Discord sent me a weird message. Well, I didn't get a weird message from you, Rachel. Now I'm offended. I'm kidding. I've listened to replays of streams. Sometimes it's funny, but also painful. Sometimes panelists. It's why many of us stop listening to FNT. I get they have a fan base. It ain't for me anymore. Yeah, I obviously have never been on FNT, and I don't know if I ever will be. It would be interesting to see the challenge of interjecting, because I almost feel like that's like the incentive to get your piece in. And I don't know what that really conveys to people, because I think, again, when there's a lot of people on there, you go at 10, 12 people on there. I forgot how many people are on there now. Yeah, it is hard to say your piece, because it's like, oh, dang it, now I'm struggling to say what I need to say. But when it comes down to, say, maybe being on other streams, right? Like maybe like being at like an open bar, like even if there's other like big names out there, it's not overcrowded. There might be some like big personalities on there. At least there's opportunity. There's room to get some words in, right? And maybe there's times where I'm not super, or someone might not know a lot about a certain topic, right? Like I remember, I think it was the last time Vex was an open bar. I forget what the topic was, but she didn't say like a single thing until like the following topic. And I think that was when I was on the open bar last time, you were talking about Star Trek. I'm not a Star Trek fan. I think the last thing I've watched from Star Trek was maybe one of the J.J. Abrams films, which were awful. But I don't watch the show, whatever most recent show that was an abomination. Excuse me. So, it's like I don't have enough to chime in other than like what I know from saying, like, it's unfortunate that they screw the fan base over. It's kind of like the repetitive nature of Hollywood not understanding what the fan base means to them, or what Star Trek means to the fan base, and how they just are ignorant to the fact that they want to inject their inclusivity and propaganda and same woke ideology agenda that we need to remove from Hollywood, from TV shows, from movies, etc., comic books, every medium, every form of entertainment medium out there, video games, all that stuff needs to be removed. So, but yeah, like it's just sad. So I was like, could have been that. I would just keep making my point and ignoring interruption, change to stop talking and pause to say, sorry, go ahead. Yeah. And you can't please everyone, right? Sometimes it happens. So, yo, what's up, Nerd Files? How you doing, my brother? And I think too, like when you have a normal or the same group of people, again, like it kind of just becomes like standard. Like you kind of know more about, someone's going to say this, they're going to talk, and then you kind of just go back and forth. And maybe there is that like opportunity, to your point, Boosh, like when, let's say, you're moving from like topic to topic, if it is that type of stream, there's a moment where there might be some dead air, and then you could say, oh, one thing I wanted to say about this comic or XYZ, then you kind of say your piece, and maybe it carries the conversation on or whatever. But I'd say sometimes just a little bit of patience too can avail you that opportunity to talk, or to kind of get a word in. But I understand sometimes if there's a lot to say about something, it does present challenges to talk, and it's hard to talk over people sometimes too. Doing well, just at work. Good to see you too, bro. And yes, I have not forgotten about the list. I'm almost done with it for you Nerd Files. So speaking of comics, I finally watched the 1986 movie Howard the Duck early this morning. Oh, nice. I haven't watched that in a long time, dude. Yeah, and you get a feel for the host, as you said. Some hosts don't want panels to talk; they're just there to listen. Which it's like, what's the point, dude? If I'm on as a guest, and then you're just gonna talk a bunch, and then all of a sudden I get maybe a sentence in, but I could add more to it, and then you just kind of come in and cut me off. It's like, dude, what am I doing here? Like it almost becomes a waste of time. It's like not even saying, oh, it's just good exposure for me. It's like, dude, I don't even care at this point. Like it's just a waste of time. I could have just had my evening free or day free at that point. So, and yeah, I agree. Like Blue and Zach's, especially on Zach's stream, like remember when we were doing the movie year battles and how much hilarity ensued in those streams? No, you take your turn like a classroom. Nadia. Don't speak unless called upon. You know what would be crazy, Boosh? Like imagine if you're on a stream, right? This is how the host ran their stream. And it was just purely based on people muting you. So like the host would just mute you, right? So it's muted, and the host would only unmute one person at a time to let them talk, to prevent anyone else from talking over them. That would be insane. Now that I think would be controlling. I don't know if I dare say narcissistic, but yeah, it's kind of like, another good example that reminded me of, oh God, what's his face? British guy does he does news. Drinker's been on his show before. Gary's been on there. I think Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers have been on there as well. I can't think of his name. Brinkley? No, not Blue probably knows who I'm talking about. Oh gosh, what the hell's his name? He'll have like multiple people from like news sources, right? Like on there. And I've seen some people that are just so annoying, talk over other people. But that's because he has no way to mute them, and it's just like, especially when it's like has something to do with like Trump or some sort of like politics. It's DEI. When you have someone like it's a full blown retard on there. What's his name? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna. Piers Morgan. Yes, thank you, Blue. See, I knew Blue would get it. Yeah, the Piers Morgan show, and like having sometimes the panel he has on, dude, I can't listen to it sometimes because people talk over other people on that show so much, and I'm just like, I just want to mute this panelist on there because they're just annoying the ever living shit out of probably everyone. David Brinkley was like that. He's old. Okay, R.I.P. He would put up a topic, yell, and then call on the panelist. Oh wow. Yeah, when Piers Morgan bites back at the people for interrupting or just being stupid, that's great. Where'd you get that message? Look at Rachel over here trying to do a troubleshoot. I forget, Rachel, are you in the US or are you in the UK? I forgot. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I think next week I'm going to talk a little bit about, we'll see what else comes up throughout the week, but I think one of the things I really want to talk about is some Tolkien stuff. I saw an interesting question about fantasy fiction and what it means to the world. So, and I was like, I could make a video about it, which I don't know if I will or not. I think if anything, it would be cool to potentially do a video, but I think too, it could also be good for a live stream conversation. Mixing Rachel's. Okay, you're in the US. Okay. Rachel, you should join my Discord. We have fun conversations in there, though. Especially when Vex is reading The Devil Wears Prada smut and posts pictures of pages in my Discord, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It's fun. It's fun. Anyway. Okay, so number one, I'm gonna go get some food. Number two, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then probably just hang out. Can I post food porn, or sorry, food prawn in my Discord with recipes? Yeah, dude, Boosh, I have a cooking thread that we post stuff in all the time. I would just need to link them on that. Yeah, let me link my Discord real quick then. Let's see here. I think I can. I think I can link it directly in the chat, right? Can you click on it if it's on the chat? In StreamYard, I forget. I just want to type it out. One of the two. No added salt, except sometimes. I like salt, but not too much salt. It's just enough. You do a little taste test first? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you just click a couple check marks and blah, blah, blah. Links from hosts and mods work from chat. Okay, good. But yeah, we chat about a lot of things. I see Hosty and Ronan arguing about Resident Evil 5, and my comment saying it should have, or it's not like Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil, that new trailer we talked about, saying it should have been a separate standalone movie. But yeah, there's a couple of different threads for TV shows, memes, masculine moments, anti-masculinity games, health, fitness, gym memes, anime, stuff like that. So there's a cooking thread. That's where Waylon posted some food, and then Vex said that he had a diet of a serial killer. So, good stuff. I dry brine protein so I don't add salt. Oh, okay. That's good. So, yeah, I think I'm going to trying to think of what I'm going to do about eating. I'm going to have some more coffee though. So anyway, y'all have been absolutely wonderful today on this Friday. You guys rock. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and staying. And yeah, Masculine Monday, 7 Samurai. We'll chat in Discord. We got the season 1 finale of Peaky Blinders Tuesday. And then I may or may not stream Thursday for gaming. We'll see, because I will probably be going to see the new Mortal Kombat movie, MK2. So maybe I'll come out after the theater and do like a live reaction or late night game stream. We'll see. And then Friday, so next Friday, I think I'll talk about Mortal Kombat 2. Maybe do like non-spoilers, unless people don't care and they want me to do spoilers. And then, or maybe I'll do like have like a scroll that says like talking spoilers about Mortal Kombat 2 on the stream. And then I'll talk about this other Tolkien idea that I have, perhaps. So, but yep, everyone, you guys are awesome. Stay masculine out there. Screw what all these idiots on the internet say. Be great, and I will maybe catch you guys in some other streams tonight. I may be popping around. We'll see who else is streaming and whatnot. So, but you guys rock, and I'll